aka Mr. Blackonomics.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. New.
You know how it goes down. We getting it in, and we got something for y'all. It's Electric Boogaloo tonight. You know the homie from Breaking Dance. He died, so we're gonna get it in on the Incredible Bongo Band. What y'all know about the Incredible Off the Chain Bongo Band? We're gonna listen to the Grandmaster Flash mix. This go out to Shabba-Doo, Incredible Bongo Band. This go out to Shabba-Doo, Breaking, 1984. Rest in peace. What you know about that? Wealth Wednesdays. Roar! What up? Kai Bickle. What we Kai Nagar, what's going on the live tonight? Hey, my brother from another mother. Kai Bickle. Roar! All right. Extra long intro because we're paying homage tonight to a number of what we would call fallen soldiers in the hip hop game. I mean, people are just cutting out. 2020 sucks. You know what I'm saying? 2020 is whack. It's wiggity whack. So, if you don't know, the homie died like a couple of hours ago. I think earlier this morning, he was in LA. We're talking about Shabba Do from the Electric Boogaloo. Y'all remember that 1984 Electric Boogaloo? Remember that? Don't stop, let the body rock. Yo, he's done. We good?
This one need to, and this one is.
Okay, handle that. So tonight we wanna recognize Shabba Do, and then also, I got some treats for y'all real quick. Hey, make sure we don't leave that. We got 2 GH5s in the back of the truck. We gotta get that bag.
And you talking about what you was telling me earlier.
Yeah, we gotta handle that. But I got a treat for the Wealth Wednesdays crew. All right. So we got the ATEM Mini Pro, the ISO. Okay. So we about to have the switchers in here with like 6 different connections, cameras. So I'm excited about that. And we found some operators, some camera operators. Of course, my cousin's gonna help out with that. And then the homie and Anthony when he gets back from LA. So we will have a full production going on in just a minute. We trying to get the straight HDMI cords. We're waiting for them. I would have had it hooked up tonight, but we got to get the 100-foot HDMI cords. So, we got to wait for Amazon on that one. But we're just making some major upgrades to the studio, so I'm really excited about it. We got a DivX box that we're programming. We'll be able to push to like 25 social media outlets. We'll be pushing to Roku, Apple TV. We'll be pushing to, a couple of other TV sources, Uverse, Fios. Crazy excited about it. And then, of course, all of our internet radio affiliates, radio.com, TuneIn, Stitcher, Streamer, the whole 9 yards. So crazy excited about that. Oh, we can't forget SiriusXM that's been down with us since day one. So we'll be pushing to social media, internet, TV, radio, and satellite. Crazy excited about the Wealth Wednesday expansion. So, stay tuned for that as we grow. You know how it goes. But tonight, we got a lot that we need to get into. But I kind of wanted to just set the tone on some old school hip hop, because dude was only 65 years old, man, and he was a young 65. He looked like, or appeared to be, that he was in great health. I know last Wednesday, we were one of the first to talk about John Fletcher also passing away, which I kind of want to start the show off on as well. So this morning, I do this radio show here in Atlanta called Wealth Wednesday. Wealth Wednesday comes on in the morning on Rashad Ritchie's show, Dr. Rashad Ritchie here in Atlanta locally. And then we'll also be working with Tigger, hopefully at the top of the year. Also, so from 8 to 8:30, we're on Rashad's show. From 8:30 to 9, we're on Tigger's show, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of you might remember I was what you call the sixth man. I was the sub-out DJ on BET's Rap City The Basement. So I'll have some videos of that on the YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So we got some history. But I made a comment this morning about John Fletcher. We're talking about Ecstasy from the group Houdini, okay? And so, of course, X was, he was pretty fit. So, from our standpoint, we don't know his heart or the condition of his heart or whatever, but from the exterior, he was in the gym. He's a gym rat. And so, of course, I start my show off talking about this GoFundMe, all right? And I'm not being condescending. I'm not being funny. I'm not making fun of the situation by no means. But we need to talk about this because this just comes up way too much in our community. I don't understand how the biggest group, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? You could do the numbers. You can. We're talking groups now. We're not talking individual sales. We're talking group sales. The biggest rap group of all time, one of them, group that is, does not have the ability to pay final expenses. And Drew is the homie. We talking about Grandmaster D. He's here in Atlanta. This is his brother. Ecstasy is his brother. John Fletcher is his brother. But Grandmaster D put a post up on Facebook, and it's actually on my Facebook Blackonomics page. I'll share it again for some of y'all that might be on the Blackonomics feed right now. But Drew was basically responding because he started the GoFundMe campaign. He was responding to trolls and sloths, internet, everybody got an opinion now, subject matter experts. He was responding to them like, he's not taking any of their money and the money's for the grandchildren and blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. And I get that. I understand that. All right? But in the same token, this is Houdini, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the foundation for a lot of rappers, man. We talking about Nas. Nas redid the One Love, Then you're talking about Lauryn Hill and her influence on some of those tracks on the Fugees. You're talking about Jermaine Dupri, who started off in a dancer on the Fresh Fest with Houdini and Run DMC on the Fresh Tour. So their influences, he's remembered as the godfather of hip hop. All right. So this to not be able to cover final expenses is a systematic issue in our community. No knock to Grandmaster D, even if you're listening or if somebody's retweeting his feed. This is no knock to you, man. I love you. You know what I'm saying? And this is no knock to the GoFundMe campaign. However, we cannot use GoFundMe as a baseline for final expenses. This is becoming normal, man. This is becoming normal. Something that's abnormal, we're now taking and becoming normal. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, like, it don't take nothing but like an hour, if that. You know what I'm saying, to get everything done. Okay, we have people on board. I mean, Sandra Tedford is my agent, you know, at the Black Speakers Union, Speakers Bureau in Chicago, but she's also a licensed insurance professional. You know what I'm saying? So we can write insurance through the real estate group partners. And if it's just basic term, it don't gotta be nothing sexy. It don't gotta be, you know, trying to become your own bank. You know, it don't gotta be all of that. It could just be, yo, I'm gonna have some straight up term insurance, so that, from my understanding, John was cool. He went to the gym earlier that morning. He came home. He was around his family, and he just conked out. His heart just stopped working. You understand? So this was totally unexpected for the family. From my understanding, it's not COVID related. He had just went to the gym, came home, got a sandwich, was on the phone, slunched over, heart stopped working. All right? Totally unexpected. Okay? It's like you with your dad one day, and y'all go out and get something to eat, and then you come back to the house, and he's watching TV, and he's out of it. All right? So he transitioned. All right? And so what I'm saying is, we all got to transition. I'm a transition, you know. The people in here and the staff, all of us are going to transition. These bodies have expiration dates on them, but we don't know when, right? So this life insurance conversation, I'm not going to make the whole show about life insurance, but like, I really feel what's happening right now. You know, there's no reason why I got to wake up in the morning and read Rolling Out magazine about the details of the GoFundMe campaign. I understand what Munson C is trying to do. I appreciate you, Munson. You know, I appreciate everybody that's, you know, rallying behind the Fletcher family right now. However, when you know, the repast is over and y'all finish eating the chicken, and we done sang One Love, and everybody done gave the 5 minutes of funk, and we done had candles and balloons and lanterns going up in the air, you know what I'm saying? We gotta have some real serious conversations about final freaking expenses, man. It gets tiring, man. The pass the bucket, pass the peas. You know how we do. Nah, this is not how we do. You understand what I'm saying? This is not normal. GoFundMe is not a protocol for final expenses, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and yell at everybody all night about this, but we're going to make this a part of, you know, the protocol, man. You understand? Because we can't build wealth, right? First of all, you can't build wealth if you don't got health. So we're going to deal with this COVID thing in just a second. But at the second time, when we're dealing with wealth accumulation, we can't deal with wealth accumulation if we on some old, you know, GoFundMe type stuff. That mentality of a GoFundMe mentality of a pass the plate 5 times until we, you know, dig deep to be able to put people in the ground. That whole concept is not of us, man. That's not a concept we even need to be rolling on, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to really come to grips with who we are as a people and what it is that is expected of us as grown people. You know what I'm saying? This grown people on the end of this feed, whether you a millennial, you Generation X, you a baby boomer, whatever. This is grown folks, you know, entrepreneurship right now. Grown folks radio, as they call it, grown folks television, all right? And so as a grown person, man, as somebody who is, you know, dependent upon in the community, somebody, you know, I assume you guys are kind of like how I am. You know what I'm saying? You might be the first one in your family that gets the call when something goes awry. You understand? Or financially, people be leaning on you, which is probably why y'all watching this, you know, presentation to figure out what strategies does Dave have, Dr. Anderson have this week, so you can, you know, get yourself to where you need to go. So we're gonna hit y'all with what it is that y'all came here for. I get it. You understand? We're gonna whiteboard it out tonight. But at the same time, if you on the other end of this transmission, right? And I'm not even licensed to deal with insurance, right? George Frazier been telling me to take the test for a long time. I haven't slowed down to take the test. But so I can't write the insurance for you. However, I got people that work in my office that are licensed insurance professionals. We got about 2 or 3 different folks that work in and out of the office that are licensed insurance professionals, all right? and they can handle that, man. The number is 888. You know the number. We're gonna put it up here again. We got this machine right here. The number is gonna stay on the screen. It's gonna stay on screen. 888-755-5105. We put it up here so you know what it is. All right. This is the number. 888-755-5105. Okay, that's the number. Because we are last minute people. Like all the way. We've been doing this Wealth Wednesdays for almost 9 months. I think we started in like March or April, something like that. We've been hitting y'all almost 9 months, man. Today is the last Wealth Wednesday of 2020. This is crazy. Nuts. And we wait till the last minute. Tomorrow is the last day for IRAs. People calling the office. The office been bombarded with calls all day because cats done waited till the last minute. Now folks want to send money over. It's cool. I'm not knocking y'all. You understand? But I'm just saying we are last minute people. This is just how we are as black folks, minorities, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, Negroes, colored people, all these different verbiages and acronyms that we have for ourselves, right? But we wait to the last minute. And so now John probably has some, intentions of getting all his final stuff in play. But, the Grim Reaper knocked on the door before he had his clothes on, right? Caught him out there. I get it. He got caught out there. He's passing the plate. It's an embarrassment to hip hop, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So we got to clean it up. Jermaine Dupri could have cut a check and handled that situation before it even got to the GoFundMe. There could have been a trust fund set up, donate to the Roth IRA for the kids. It could have been all kind of other stuff set up if that's what the intention is. But when we don't have the information, class, come on, man, listen. The good book say the people perish, man. Perish. All right? The etymology on the word perish is to die, is to expire. When fruit is perishable, it's because there's an expiration date on there. So all of this stuff right here that we in, this vessel, you know what I'm saying, this transport unit is perishable. It got an expiration date on it, right? So if we're not preparing for that, we getting caught out there, our pants are down, and everybody's looking at our stuff blowing in the wind. That's not cool, right? There's a protocol, there's a way to handle things, man. And this is not how we need to handle stuff, especially, for a giant in the hip hop community to have fallen, and we gotta pass the plate, man. I take issue on it. I understand the issues, so I'm going to be patient. And I'm going to be understanding, but at the same time, on the other end of the stick, we got to correct this behavior. And so, this is what time it is, man. It's 2021. We don't got no time for foolishness, man. You know what I mean? This is it. This is Custer's last stand. If you can't figure this out, man, it's over for us. Yo, listen, on the Blackonomics page, and I swear I wish I had the switcher hooked up, but it's not. Because if I did, I would go right to the clip right now. Producer, take me to the clip. There's a robot video, and I'm putting it on the Blackonomics Facebook fan page right now. There's a robot video. These robots are doing the shuffle, the 1-2 shuffle. They putting their legs in the air, they dancing, they twirling, they doing the Running Man. The robots is doing this right here. Remember this dance? The Running Man? Well, the robots is doing the Running Man. They got 2 robots doing the Running Man in sync. People who work jobs, laborers, people who trade their time for money, it's over. It's a wrap. The robots is doing the Running Man. I saw one of the robots do the WAP. The robot was doing this. I can't even do the WAP no more. There go the WAP. Remember that joint? The robot was doing the WAP. I can't make this up, people. All right? So if Boston Dynamics, what's up, Walls? I know you in Boston. I see you. Was it Boston Dynamics? Boston Dynamics. Who's the company that owns Boston Dynamics? What's the ticket on that? Look that up, man. The ticker tape Dynamics. We need to put that on the board. We need to invest in that. Boston Dynamics done flipped it. They done changed the game. It's over with. Boston Dynamics done changed the whole game. Whoever the parent company is, we need to invest. I'm not telling y'all what to invest in. I'm not giving financial advice over the net. But I know for me and mine, I'm about to buy some Boston Dynamics, okay? So Boston Dynamics done changed the game. Because now, obviously we got the black on, so when you see the all black, you know what it is. It's evictions time. It's Goon Squad is in the house.
Soft Bank Group Corporation.
Soft
no,
what?
No, I'm sorry. Yes, soft. So the short for it
Come on, man.
SFTBF.
SF.
SFTBF
TBF.
in parentheses OTC MKTS. I guess
OTC
O ticket.
MKTS is the ticket.
OTC MKTS
OTC. That's too long
in
for a
parentheses.
ticket.
So I guess it's SoftBank Group Corporation,
SoftBank.
and that's the
Look that up, y'all.
SoftBank. That's one word. Group Corporation.
All right. I'm not suggesting that you buy that. I'm suggesting that you do some research and check into it.
That's who owns
They
it.
own Boston Dynamics. Boston Dynamics just created the robot. They've been working on this bot for a minute, but you know, a year, 24 months ago, the robot couldn't even walk. It was putting
Facts.
one
Facts.
foot. It was doing this right here. The robot was trying to get his stuff together. The robot was like, not this bot right here. They had the bots was doing the kid and play. They was doing the kid and play. They was doing the two-step. It's crazy. You got to see this. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is where it is. Cool. Because when we got to go put the all black on, we got to go do the door knock. I need my money. You ain't got the money. Here come the sheriff. I'm not trying to put my crew in that kind of harm's way. Because people right now, they not trying to hear that. They trying to bust. All right? So if the bots come, and these bots is taller than me. I'm 6'5.5", 2 something, right? The bots come through. You could get them in 6 foot, 8 foot, 7 foot. We gonna get the 8-foot bots, come in, take the door off, and just start picking stuff up and put it on the street. People could get mad. They could start tripping. They could shoot at the bots if we in the hood. The bots is still gonna do the directive and finish the protocol. And we don't have to pay the bots per hour. That's the other thing. Like the bots go on the box truck and they could just hold on. Or we strap the bots in. We could probably put 6 to 8 bots in the box truck. And that's it. The bots come out. The bots do the landscaping work. The bots pick up the heavy lifting. The bots can do the demo. The bots can take the trash out. We got to go demo a house in Macon. All of that debris that's in the front, all of the trees and stuff. The bots can take the trees down. If a limb falls and it falls on the bot's arm and the arm come off, we can order a new arm. Keep it moving. We don't got to worry about health insurance. We don't got to worry about back talking. We don't got to worry about mealy mouthing. Oh, I don't feel like working today, boss. None of that. We put in the code, sweep, bang. It goes to the 8 bots. The bots go and they sweep the whole house out. It's done. They get back on the box truck. The driver takes it to the next location. The bots are here. The robots are here.
No payroll.
Come on, y'all. It's crazy right now. So we got to get with it, man. On the way over here, you know, we had to get something to eat because it's a long night with this Wealth Wednesday stuff, right? And so on the way out of the fish spot, we went and got the hot fish. On the way out of the fish spot, it's like directly across the street from King's Church, like Dr. King's Church right here, Ebenezer Baptist Church right here. Fish spot is in between there on Auburn Avenue, right? On the back side of the church, it's just desolate, right? Some developers getting ready to develop, but you know he hadn't developed yet, so now it's just desolate, right? The amount of homeless people pitching tents in Atlanta right now is nuts. Listen to me, y'all. This is and this is not a rant, yo. This is the sign of the times on what's going on right now. These was not regular homeless people, all right? These are people that might have been teachers. You know what I'm saying? They might have been in the workforce and something happened. COVID happened, right? They lost their house. They got evicted, right? Whatever. Something happened. These are people that really shouldn't have been on the street, but they wasn't able to figure it out. So as a result, they on the street. Okay. Let me tell you about what's getting ready to go down. 2021, it's gonna be either you got it figured out or you don't. And let me tell you something, yo. There's a price for not figuring it out. No longer can we take this stance of, oh, well, I couldn't figure it out, so I lost. You understand? Or I was trying to fight, well, I couldn't figure it out, the lawyers got to me, I lost. Like the people perish, remember, right? The people perish because of lack of knowledge, lack of information. Huh? So all that we do, we got to do what, class? Gain knowledge and understanding. In all that we do, we have to gain knowledge and understanding. Let me say this to you. Miles Monroe, who was a heavy influence on my career. I was introduced to the brother by Dr. George Fraser. And George, if you're watching, I finally got a lectern. It came today. So we're going to talk about this lectern business in just a minute. But Miles Monroe pops up on the feed every now and again. And the other morning, Miles popped up while I was getting my day started. And he was talking to Pastor Benny Hinn, excuse me. He was talking to Pastor Benny Hinn. And in his dialogue with Benny Hinn, he was promoting a book called Overcoming Challenges. It's on Amazon. It's called Overcoming Challenges, especially for black men that are listening right now. Black women too. I don't want to exclude you, but especially black men. Overcoming Challenges, Dr. Miles Monroe. You got to look into this. You got to read this, digest it, let it get into your Noah. Dr. Miles says, Pastor Benny, I want to talk. He goes, well, what are we talking about today? He says, I got a new book, but I want to talk to you about some of the principles in this new book, Overcoming Challenges. All right. And so in the book, he discusses Genesis in the second chapter for the believers that are on the other end of the line. And I'm not trying to exclude you if you pray to Buddha or Allah or you Jewish or whatever. It's all universal truths that I'm about to give to you right now. He explains in Genesis, the second chapter, God does not send rain to the earth until man was created. This is in the book. You can fact check me. You can pick it up. Some of y'all already know it. Rain was not sent unto the earth until man was created. So when man was created, he in essence was created for what? God didn't want to send rain because if rain came, then what? Things grow, right? So he didn't want to send the rain until man was able to then manage the fruit. So in essence, Dr. Miles's position was that we were not created for no other reason than to manage the earth. God was looking for a manager. This is the position of Dr. Miles from the afterlife. That God, in his greatness and his omnipotence, right? He needed a manager. And so as he sends rain, he gives man breath so that man can cultivate and manage the land. What does that mean right now? That means simply everything in your life, right? Every aspect of your life, your financial life, your relationships, all have to be what, class? Managed. If you don't manage your relationships, if you don't manage your land, it will be taken from you. Trust me on that. We've built a business off of taking land that was unmanaged. So I say this to you. There is no reason for us to be living in squalor, living on the street. I don't care what the excuse is that you have. My mama died. I got the COVID. My father got shot. This happened to me. I was in jail. All of the excuses are now out of the window. We have no excuse for success. Success is a choice. I don't care what you tell me. I don't want to hear it. This is the last Wealth Wednesday of 2020. And if you haven't put together your own plan for 2021, if you haven't been able to go into the archives while they're still available, before we put them all together and monetize them and start charging y'all $9.99 a month to get access to what it is that's coming through, right? You got an opportunity right now before the show blows, before Ozzy Aru Studios does the deal with Netflix, before we really put something down the piper, right? You got an opportunity to go through the entire archive for the past 9 months and figure it out. You can't tell me that if you've been following Wealth Wednesday for the past 9 months, that your economic position hasn't changed. If it hasn't changed, it's because it's on you. It ain't on nobody else. It's on you. God created us to manage the opportunity that's here on earth. And we throw that away. We just give it up when we lay down and we go into a tent. Well, Dr. Anderson, you don't understand. You don't understand those people's situation. Hey, what I do understand is that this white man is not playing with us. And when I say white man, I know we got white folks watching the presentation, and not all white people are bad. You know what I'm saying? Some of my best friends that are watching the presentation right now happen to be white. But there is, be clear, there is an agenda to wipe melanated people off the face of this planet, and they moving on that agenda right now. And if you don't have an economic wherewithal or a base or some kind of ability to take care of your own air, your own water, and your own food and shelter, you're done. The bots are here, man. Boston Dynamics got bots that's doing the running man. And we out here across the street from Dr. King's church without 2 nickels to rub to get some hot fish living in tents in Atlanta. Because we can't figure it out. Not that we can't, because can't ain't even a real word. I got to buzz myself on that because I know Nigel getting ready to call me on that. Can't ain't even a word. In fact, the King's English, the master's language, in the master's language, it's I can. In the slave language, they put the NT in there, so it disrespects all of the power that you create when you say that I can. So what did the masters create? They created a slave language that we adopt. We inject the NT. Well, I can't, Dr. Anderson. I can't do this. I can't do that because this happened to me. They gave me a felony. Well, come on. I ain't trying to hear none of that, man. It's 2021. The biggest opportunity. Listen, man. Ian Trebek bought a freaking yacht, a 200-foot yacht for $10 million using Bitcoins. This dude just went through Eleuthera in Bahamas to Spanish Harbor with his kids. They on the internet kissing fish. Come on, man. So I get it. Everybody's not Trebek, cool. But all of us got some Trebek in us, man. And I don't believe that we've been reduced to the lowest common denominator that we can't figure out hot fish across the street from Dr. King's church in a tent. I don't want to believe that, man. That's not my truth. I can't believe that Houdini, ecstasy of Houdini, has been reduced to a GoFundMe, passing the hat to put this man in the ground because we want to have a proper send-off. I can't believe this, man. What have we become? What have we allowed ourselves to be reduced to? That we can't figure things out. We have figured out how to put pyramids in Egypt. We're making a movie about this, man, with Dr. Anthony Browder. And they're still trying. Elon Musk himself said that the aliens came and built it. When just 3 weeks ago, the Egyptian government says in Saqqara, they found the builders' tombs. And inside the builders' tombs, there's paintings on how the Africans built these pyramids. So if our ancestors built pyramids, that they still, Musk is saying they didn't do that. Them Negroes didn't do that. These aliens came from Star Quadrant System Sirius A and B. And they came down here on a disc, and they built it. Come on, man. We built pyramids. But now we can't figure out how to get fish, and we living in tents across the street from Dr. King's church? Come on, black folks. We got to pass the hat 5 times to put hip-hop legends in the ground? Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. I don't care what you got going on. Well, my mama died. Your mama is gonna die. That's tough talk, man. My mom's is gonna cut out, and so is my father. Dad, I love you. I know you watching. But what are we gonna do when it comes time to put them in the ground? What do you do then? You cry, you grieve, but you still gotta get up. You still gotta keep pushing. Don't nobody stay in the ground because your freaking mom died. Come on, man. Get up. Get up. Figure it out. We don't have the opportunity to sit back on the ground talking about, oh, it hurts, Dr. Anderson. Yes, life does hurt. And I don't want to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive. But I'm telling you where we are right now. The alarm is ringing. The bots are here. Y'all about to get wiped out if we don't put ourselves in positions to economically fight. We can't even respond to COVID because our immune systems are so weak. And Dr. Bethel gives us a protocol. He's given us a protocol. In fact, in Bahamas, of the 7,000 cases, 6,956 people have recovered. They only have 175 deaths in the Bahamas. Why is that? Because Dr. Kevin Bethel has given a protocol. And I talked about it when Wealth Wednesday started. In fact, the first Wealth Wednesday, Volume 1, Episode 1, starts with Kevin Bethel's protocol, which was pycnogenol, vitamin D3, and zinc, and including or adding to high dosages of vitamin C at the 5,000 milligram level. But we're not listening, and we don't have the money to buy the Pycnogenol. We can't even spell Pycnogenol. And I'm not being condescending. I'm being real. It's that time. It's a wake-up call. We're not going into 2021 with the same foolishness that was going on in 2020. It's a shift right now, y'all. Come on. It's a shift. And we need y'all. We need everybody's immune systems to be built. We need everybody tuning in to Wealth Wednesday. We need everybody to invest. Y'all don't got to invest with me, but y'all better invest. Bitcoin about to bust 30,000? Yo, come on, man. Jamie Dimon talking about Bitcoin going to be $1 million in 5 years. Jamie Dimon. Oh, well, Dr. Anderson, I don't got the money to buy the Bitcoin. Man, we was on the radio today talking about if you got a Cash App, you could buy a Satoshi. Yep. Everybody can buy a Satoshi. Satoshi is like a 0.00000001. You can go get you 5,000 Satoshis right now.
You can buy Bitcoin and Cash App.
Come on, man. You can buy fractional Bitcoins. But no. No, Doc. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be fresh, shouted. I'm going to be super fresh, Doc. I'm going to give me some Stacey Adams, shouted. I'm going to give me a fresh white tee, shouted. I'm going to be clean. That's where we at. We want to be clean. We don't want to have 500,000 on the market that we looking at. I should hope not. Well, I should hope so. So I didn't come here to rant tonight, man. But I have a righteous indignation about our condition economically as a people. Ooh, that's profound. I gotta give myself a horn. I'm just saying, man. A righteous indignation about our condition economically as a people. I think it's deplorable, man. This is why I do what I do. I ain't out here asking for no money. God is blessing us, man. Like, seriously, man, the deals that's coming through the pipe today, they unexplainable. I can't even tell you how cats is the type of calls that's coming through. This is a movie. This is a TV show. Facts, it's a TV show. People that are around me is like, yo, this dude getting ready to sell Greenbrier Mall. That's crazy.
Every day is a movie.
Every day is something.
Every day is a new movie.
It's a new movie. The mall's for sale. The Aru Studios, 75 acres is going down. Come on, man. The dude that built up the Neonopolis in Vegas is putting the dough up. I mean, it's nuts. I can't even, it's a movie. So while things are happening, right? While the gate is open, the gate's open, right? And we got a good 10, 20-year run. All we got to do is communicate and do what we say we're going to do. So listen, the gate is open. While the gate is open and we're doing fantastic deals, right? While the knowledge is flowing, while we have sound mind, while we got a team, while everybody's working together, ain't no riffing, right? While everything's going well, participate with that. Get involved. You don't got to come in at $100,000 level, but you daggone sure at least need to have a Roth. And oh, Dr. Anderson, what's your opinion on tax liens? Should I be doing something else? Hell yeah, you should be doing something else. I don't know what that something else is. I'm a real estate man. I know real estate, more specifically, tax liens. So I'm focused on that. I'm not trying to be all over the place selling y'all Bitcoins. If you want to do Bitcoins, cool. You want to get some Satoshis, cool. But I'm not trying to be all over the place. I'll be all over the place with my own dough. Because if I put some money in a film and it goes right or left and it's cool, and then I don't have to answer to no partners, huh? So I'm very focused. The Real Estate Group Partners is extremely focused on these tax liens because they work, huh? But as you start to grow your portfolio, look at getting into other things, man. Look at getting into this Boston Dynamics. Pull a whole report on that situation. Because, listen, these bots were doing the running man. They was doing the kid and play, the robots. So all of these labor jobs, all of this packaging and picking up stuff, oh yeah, shout out, I'm at the plant. I got a good job at Amazon. That's out of here, man. All y'all working for Uber and Lyft and all that stuff, they got autonomous cars coming. As soon as these satellites go up and they get everything linked up on this grid, it's a wrap, man. Ain't nobody driving nowhere. Like, I'm not going to trust no car to drive me. I'm going to still pay the driver to whatever, $20 an hour, $25 an hour to take us to where we got to go in the Sprinter. I'm not doing that. Like, I got to have human connection, right? But these bots are here, man. The automation is changing the whole game. If you don't believe me, there was a book that was written, and it's called the man. What's the name of this book? Because the homie sent it to me. Man, it's called It's a revolution, and it's not an economic revolution. I'm gonna get to it. It's a something revolution. It'll come to me, but it basically talks about the machine age. Thank you, Lord. The second machine age is the name of the book, and it specifically talks about this AI revolution, the second machine age. Okay, the second machine age. You got to read this book because it talks about exactly what I'm talking about right now. In fact, the government, the government knows that it's so crazy that they have a stipend in place for those of the labor class. 2/3 of the labor class is about to get wiped out due to machine technology. So they got like a welfare. I don't know if I want to call it a welfare. We'll call it a stipend in place to help people with that transition when their jobs is like this. And the way it's gonna come so quick. Y'all gonna get a notice. You're gonna be at the plant, and they're gonna be like, "Thanks for your service. We got the bots. We got it." So what I'm telling you right now, right? Whether y'all do business with us or not, it's time to figure it out. Straight up, no chasing. It's time to figure it out. And let me tell you something. Figuring it out, it's a commitment. It's a lifestyle, huh? Like as I'm getting older, I'm becoming the staunch outdoorsman, right? Because I got this farm in Tennessee. So sometimes I get the angst to like get in the truck and just drive up there with nothing. Whatever the hell is in the car, that's what I'm taking. Whatever's in the Yeti, that's what it is. And just be out there for like 7 days, 8 days, 10, 20, 12, 14 days. Not even no phone. I can't do that. I gotta let people know where I'm at. But I'm just saying, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more excited about going somewhere without no resources, or just real few resources in fact, like a bow with a compound bow. Not even a compound bow. I got the traditional bow. I gotta hunt for my food. Where's that turkey that be coming up there peacocking? I got something for him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting off on that. I'm getting off on being able to start a fire. This little band that I got on right here, like, we was jammed up on the boat and somebody didn't bring no match and it was cooking on the boat or whatever. I was able to start a whole straight up fire with this bracelet. Don't ever take it off, right? Just bang. They was like, yo, the fire's going. Dave's over here cooking. How did he do that? You know, it's like, it's this dude figures it out, this survival man over here. But that's because I get off on that. I get off on all of the odds being against me and being able to figure it out on some MacGyver type stuff. Like, I get off on that, right? That is the same type of vigor, same type of verba that you need right now, because it's just that serious. Now, I don't know if I should be all on it like that. Maybe it's stuff that happened to me when I was a kid and I was put in really compromised situations and I had to figure stuff out, so it comes naturally to me. But this skill set that I've developed, I'm imparting that into y'all right now through Wealth Wednesdays, because our economic condition right now is deplorable. So this whole 9 o'clock whiteboard session is really to spark that creativity that God has given us, that he's given to you, to be able to figure your situation out. Any situation can get figured out with basic information. It shouldn't be that we're now so compromised by paperwork and orders and processes and protocols that we put guns to our head and take our own lives. It should not even come to that, especially during the holidays. That cats just be like, I can't figure it out. You can't figure it out because you don't have enough information. And right now, we got YouTube University. So you can't sit here and say, yo, I didn't know. I'm uninformed, Doc. I didn't know. That ain't gonna fly no more, man. We gotta come with it. So I'm imploring everybody to really, really, really focus on what it is that God has called you to do. The playtime is over with. You understand? And I'll be that dude. You could be like, yo, I don't agree, Dr. Anderson. You know, cool. You could agree to disagree. But I'm a walking testimony to tell you that playtime is over with, man. Playtime is over. God didn't come here to play with us, man. He did not. He came here to give us, abundant lives. He came here to give us everything that it is that we're supposed to have. And we just not tapping into that, man. So I say all that to say, let's get on this right here. Miss Johnson. Okay, Happy New Year, Miss Johnson. Larice. You telling me you're going to have a group of Transformers for the new... Yeah, I am, Larice. I really am, because cats don't want to work. They don't want to pick stuff up. The bots, I don't got to hear all of that. I cannot wait to get 8 bots and put them in the truck and let Raheem drive around. And you'll have to figure out how to program them on a joystick and send the bots in, man. Why are we risking our lives, man? We knocking on these doors. These people ain't trying to get out of their house. It's COVID. I'm not doing that, man.
That ain't even necessary for some of them.
Yeah. All right, Carolyn Jones, what's up? Maya Trevelyan, Treleven, what up? Sandra Tedford, Sandra Rice Insurance, y'all. Come on. Anybody out there that got need a term life insurance policy, call the office, ask for Sandra Tedford. We'll transfer the call to Chicago. I'm just saying, don't play around. They said John was just at the gym, came home, and that was that. That's crazy. All right, man. Who else we got over here? Henson Corporal, is there a site that is a list for the counties in Georgia with the info on tax delinquent sales at the auctions? Yeah, it is, but I'm not telling y'all on the Wealth Wednesdays. Woo! All right, Calvin Maddox. What's up, Mr. Maddox? Got the Roth IRA open today, Doc. Ordered the Power Zero. Give the info on the $2,000 COVID device that kills the virus. Where can I buy that one? Oh, not now. Listen, my man Calvin Maddox is thinking. I gotta get to Mr. Maddox. So a couple of weeks ago, somebody called the radio station and they asked this question. You know, blah blah blah. What would you do if you had 2 G's? Blah 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 blah. $2,500, I think it was. And I was like, yo, man, I would get the COVID machine, right? The electrostatic sprayer. Something crazy. That's online. You can order the electrostatic sprayer. I think the distributor for that company is called Protect Us. Protect Us. And the Protect Us distributor here in Georgia or in the Atlanta area is a company called America First. America First. America First. They up in Buford Highway. So y'all can Google that, check that out. But yeah, man, you got that cleaning contract, Mr. Maddox, getting ready to come through. You know, you get the Protect Us sprayer. Listen, ain't nobody really taking this COVID thing serious, man. You know, if it's airborne, it's in the air. Everybody should have, like, you know, molecules in the house. We should have, you know, UV lights going in the you know, in the air filtration, in the air ducts. I mean, come on, we got to get serious about this thing. So, the COVID thing is necessary. All businesses need it. If you got people coming in and out of your space, we got to go and spray it down. So the COVID electrostatic sprayer is something that's a major investment, just to go in and spray people's stuff down and just to reset it. You know what I'm saying? Reset the atmosphere. You know, so it's affordable. It's the machine is $1,000. The pellets, you can get $500 worth of pellets, and I think the backpack's another $500. For $2,000, you're in the game. So I don't know. I'm answering questions before we get into the top of the hour. What we got over here on the gram. Fast shouts out to George Clinton's daughter, was it? That's who we met today? We met George Clinton's daughter today?
Yeah.
All right. Big shouts out to her.
Yes, sir.
I think Raheem digs her. All right. And then we want to... I'm trying to get everybody on the... Yo, what are we doing on the gram? Are we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
Are you sitting over there?
We got any questions?
Uh,
Yeah, big shouts out to Miss Harris in Greensboro. I see you. Okay, let's do this. We getting
Hold on.
into any of the questions I missed?
Hold on. Are you telling we're gonna have the group Transformers?
What's the question?
Are you
Any questions before we get into the top of the hour?
Dave, are you telling me you're going to have a group of Transformers?
Yeah.
as
We
you
already
move-
got to
oh, you
those.
already
We got to those.
okay,
We got to
cool.
those. All right, so we hit y'all with planning period. We hit y'all with
Yeah, we caught up.
okay. We caught
Oh
up.
wait, I'm doing a tax auction next week. Very first one. Thanks for the inspiration, Doc. Okay.
yeah, we caught up.
Marcus Davis, I'm doing a tax auction next week. Very first one. Thanks for the inspiration, Doc. Yeah, man. What Marcus Davis, what county? I think you're in, if I remember, you're in Lexington, Kentucky. But just clarify what county you're in, what state and county jurisdiction is what I'm trying to get to. Thank you. See, we got a Wealth Wednesday community, man. They checking in from all over the spot. That's what's up. All right. Oh yeah, we're also looking for a legal research assistant still. Miss Cooper needs some help. Okay, but it can't be just any kind of help. Okay, because you know she real particular about who's in her space. They don't want people just coming in trying to take information and leave and trying to compete with us. So it's gonna be a rigorous search for this person. It's gotta be the right person. Gotta be a good fit. You know what I mean? But I'm glad my cousin's here. He's woke. He's waking. He's woke. I tell you, man, the quickest way to wake young people up is to give them $1,000 and take them to the auction and just be like, "Yo, do whatever you want." And then when they get something, it's like, "Got him, got him." All right, Miss Johnson. Wait, what? I'm a legal person. Talk to me. You got to send in your resume. I think it's Nakia at the Real Estate Group Partners. Info at the Real Estate Group Partners. One of those. Sorry, send it to info at the Real Estate Group Partners. Sorry. Okay, let's get into it. Top of the hour ID. Blah, blah, blah. Hold up, we got to get some music in here. Because this is old school hip hop, right? It's old school. What was another dope joint that the Bongo Band did? Bongo Rock. You remember that? We'll get to that later.
You ain't never get my John sent you the intro.
You're going to be doing a whole bunch of intros, homie. All right. Congress, $600. We'll talk about that later. Let's get right to it. Advanced tax strategies are in full effect. Advanced tax strategies are in full and total control. We got to put some music on that, man. What was that joint? Planet Patrol? Advanced tax strategies. Woo!
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google.
Yo, why do they do that, man? Like every time we got to figure that out. All right, man. So we're going to hit you on the board with these advanced tax strategies while we reset the board. You definitely want to get your pens and papers out. Fat shout out to Shabadoo, Electric Boogaloo, 1984. celebrating the life of these great hip-hop giants, John Fletcher, aka Ecstasy. He passed away last Wednesday, and just 7 days later, we lose Shabba-Doo. And Shabba-Doo was one of the dopest break dancers. Check out Electric Boogaloo. And he cut out this morning, 65 years old. John was 56. I don't know what's going on. They say Shabba-Doo tested negative for the COVID. He gave a post from his bed talking about he was feeling sluggish. Never woke up. We need some life insurance. Because I'm sure next week they're going to be talking about GoFundMe for Shabba-Doo. Play at your own risk. How profound. All right. We didn't come to criticize. You walking around uninsured, call that number up here, 888-755-5105. If you walking around uninsured. And let me say this. To all my militant brothers that always wear black and be having black steel-toe shoes on and be blackety black, and always talking about the man is putting them down and all this type of stuff. You understand, my brother? Them cats, the next time the police shoot you in the back 5 times, because you know they watching you, right? They're going to bust you in the back. If you don't got no insurance, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to be real blackety black, and you got $1 million worth of insurance, guess what? If all of y'all get insurance, then when they shoot y'all, every time they shoot y'all, they got to pay $1 million. I bet you, I guarantee, they're going to stop shooting black people, especially black brothers. But we not serious about that, because if we were, we'd have proper insurance. But that's another conversation, another lesson for another day. We out of time on the reign and the expression of oneself. Let's get to it. Advanced tax strategies. All right, we're getting a lot of calls. Everybody's calling because it's the end of the month. We need a song. You want to produce something? We need to wake up. It's the end of the month. And get your rock and come on. It's the end of the month. Your ESA is just on. It's the end of the month. Get your solo 401k and come on. It's the end of the month. I have never heard the phone ring the way it's been ringing for these last 3 or 4 days. It's crazy. It's nuts. Miss Cooper's like, where's the transfer button? I can't handle all these calls. David, you gotta give me an assistant or I'm leaving. I'm like, oh, slow down. Let's talk about this. Anyway, advanced tax strategies, y'all. So I'm getting a lot of questions about, and let's go through it because we're getting a lot of questions, right? So here's one. We talk about the ESA, and I want to kind of hit these from advanced tax strategies because there's two sides to this, right? So somebody called and was like, yo, I owe the government $6,000. And I need a strategy on what I can do to offset, paying the government, Dr. Anderson. So, can I put some money in these Roth IRAs? What can I do, Doc? All right, cool. Here's a strategy, right? We're gonna call this the educational savings strategy. Savings strategy. And feel free, we got the information up here. So if you need to ask a question, raise your hand and speak, right? Raise your hand and speak. All right. So the gentleman got about a $6,000 obligation that he's concerned about. And he has 3 children. So we put this here, ESA 1. Hopefully everybody can see this on the board. ESA 2. And ESA 3. All right. If you don't know, we'll go over this again, but contributions to these ESAs are $2,000. That's coming in. Okay? ESA 1, 2, and 3. So that $6,000 technically that he owes the Fed, right? I don't know if he'll get credit because I'm not a CPA and I don't have all of his information present. But I'm sure if we total this up, this is $6,000. But we can probably safely say he won't get dollar for dollar the whole $6 as a credit for the $6,000 obligation, but he'll at least get half of that. All right, and I'm sure if there's some other things that he can do per the CPA's advice, maybe do a gifting program or something to that effect. He can even get that lowered even more. But in this space, instead of giving that $6,000 to the Fed, right, that same $6,000 can go here. And even though it can be mitigated for an advanced tax strategy, it can also go specifically into these ESAs for these children's educational fund. And keep in mind, this money here is available right now. This is not money that you got to wait till you're 51, 55 and a half for HSA to withdraw or 71 and a half to withdraw from your Roth. This is money that you can pull out right now as long as it's per the IRS for a qualified educational expense. Qualified educational expense. All right? So, the gentleman, this is the gentleman here, right? Yeah, Doc, because I got to take care of my kids, Doc. I got to take care of my kids. You understand, Doc? I got to take care of my kids. I get it. All the kids got ESA money. Now, here's the focal point. This totals the 6 Gs. 6 Gs is used to buy a tax lien. Well, Doc, where can I find the $6,000 tax liens at? They're all over the place. You just got to look, right? Tax liens that are 6 Gs are just not going to pop out. I'm 6,000. Here I am. You got to look for them. You know what I mean? You got to be on the take for them. We on the take for this type of stuff. So we know where they are. So you locate these opportunities. Placement is everything. That's why you hire the real estate group partners to help you with the placement. And this house now is filled with equity, okay? I mean, a $6,000 house is safe to say that it's at least worth 50 Gs, huh? Condition might be, not that good, not that great, but we list it, we let it go for 30 Gs. We don't want to really do a whole lot of work to the house. I don't like working with my hands. I'm not that dude. I'm not Mr. Rehabber. I'm not Mr. Go in there and fix it all up. I'm not that dude. I'm gonna find it for 6 Gs and sell it for 56,000. That's me, right? We're gonna sell it to the guy that likes to work with his hands. That's what I say, right? That's not me. I know how to sling a mallet, but I don't wake up to do that every day. There's people that want to do that. You know what I mean? That's not me. So we sell it for 30. Now this is the magic. We got 10 in each account. Okay? Can you imagine kid 1, 2, and 3 having 10 Gs in their ESA account? I'm not dressed like this for my health. Somebody was about to get put out of their house this morning at 11 a.m. But magically the money just came out of the sky. Woo! Here's the check. Don't put me out. No problem. I'm putting this back in the kids' ESA account. It wasn't my money. It was the kids' money, right? So this is a very real scenario. I can't tell you how real this is because it's just so real that it actually happened this morning. So money going back into the ESA account is powerful because now that 10 can be deployed next week, right? And it could be deployed on a property that probably is worth another 50 Gs. And if you got 3 ESA accounts filled up with $10,000 each, you could probably get 3 more properties, right? And another 50 Gs go back into each one. Now you got $150,000, $50,000 in each child's educational savings account. The kid is only 6 years old or 4 years old or 7 years old or 8 years old or however they are. So now you got $50,000 in each kid's account and you do it again and you double the 50. Now it's $100,000 in each kid's account, right? You go buy some Bitcoins, right? I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to bet the farm on it. I'll get some Satoshis. But this is a very powerful strategy. you know, and I kind of breeze over it. But, you know, this is a powerful strategy because now, you know, this puts you in a different league to be able to make different types of situations. You know, families are really struggling with how education is going to look next year. There's a group of children that are not being educated right now because they don't even have access to the internet. They don't even have computers or high-speed internet to be able to do the Zoom. Okay? And so COVID has impacted so hard that it's changed the way education and learning has happened. And for everybody that wasn't able to adapt quickly and figure it out and move on, there was a lot of people that was lost in the sauce. Some people don't learn well on the internet. I know for me, I got to go to the school and talk to the professor and ask questions, you know, to really get some engagement going, to be able to really grasp concepts, especially the stuff that we whiteboarded. So what about all the other children that learn like that? You know what I mean? How is the parent going to be able to accommodate their child for different learning styles? Everybody's not learning from the Zoom. I don't believe that, right? So there might be parents that have to, you know, be prepared to move when it's time to move. And when we talk about that, we're talking about buying or renting a learning pod, right? And getting a facilitator and buying curriculum. And I've had to do that. I had to do that this year. I had to cough out another $40,000, you know, for a curriculum and a salary for a facilitator and for a facility, right? So, you know, that cut into the schedule that I had to keep the kids on point for college. It was like, dang, we need to use this money now to be able to take care of the immediate need. So I had to continue to go back in the market a little bit more aggressively so that there's funds available for 2021 to be able to facilitate, to take care of the facilitator and continue to invest for the future with the college obligations or additional obligations that might come. So I can't be the only parent that is having to deal with these challenges, right? And thank God for the ESA account. You know, just something that we learned about in the seminar. Like, dang, oh, you can use that for that? Oh, I think I need that right now. You know what I'm saying? So don't just graze over these kinds of options because these options are life-changing. These are game-changing options. So just keep that in mind. We got any questions out here? I see everybody on the Facebook is chilling. Let's check and see where we at on the Shabadoo died today, old school pop locker. Rashad Rourke. All right, cool. We keeping it trill. All right, and let's see if we got any other questions over here. No questions. All right, everybody's listening. All right, so that's an advanced tax strategy. Let's move on. Let us move on. Diane Beacon.
Yeah, we caught
Diane
caught
Bacon. All right, cool. Everybody's listening. All right, so advanced tax strategies, man. Write this down because this is very powerful. The educational savings strategy or savings account is very powerful. I hope y'all get this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got this, your kids should be straight with their education. All right, let's get into it. The next best thing on the list in terms of advanced tax strategies, because everybody's calling. Let me put this on the board. You know, the deadline. Am I cold? Yeah, man, I don't like being cold. It's freezing down here. And then somebody didn't turn on the heat before we got in the studio. So the studio is cold. It's very cold, yes. Pasha Ama. Man, turn that on.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
off.
No, it's on. We good. Yeah, it's cold and this is a big space that we're in. So really the heat needs to be turned on like 4 hours before we get in the studio. It didn't happen today, but it's okay. Everybody's working. My staff is working diligently on everybody's in their offices working on these applications, these Roth IRA applications, because somebody wants to come at the last minute. But it's okay. I understand. I love my people. The deadline
Tomorrow at 12 p.m.
is December. Really, it's tonight.
Okay.
Because if you tell them tomorrow, they're going to call, hey, Doc, you know, I know I'm late, but You know what I'm saying? Can I get my application in? 12 midnight. That's it. It's the cutoff. Midnight.
Mr. Anderson, what's the US?
Dr. Anderson, you know, let me holler at you, Doc. I got a question, Doc. I got a question.
What's the US stuff?
What's the latest I can send my IRA application to you, Doc? I know you're busy, Doc, but what's the latest I can send it in? Can I send it in the morning, Doc? You know, I'm just tired after Wealth Wednesdays. I'm gonna go to sleep. The deadline is tonight, man. Come on. Come on, y'all. Help me out. It's tonight. So we want to get, applications in. The deal is this. If you get your application in, right, and it's opened, you have until April 15th to contribute. Okay? So the contribution April 15th. Yeah, Doc, because, I got to catch up. I didn't do everything I was supposed to do, Doc, but I need to catch up. Contribution deadline, the 15th. This is 2021, people. Okay? Application deadline, tonight. All right? So, digest this, please, because this is important. Brian Jefferson, are you still available to talk about the investment and vacation opportunities? As soon as we get done with this advanced tax strategies, we'll talk about vacation opportunities because I think that's very important. Actually, we have some vacation opportunities that are available. Tax liens can be used for vacation opportunities, and we'll explain to you how that works. So I'm glad you reminded me about that, Mr. Brian Jefferson. Give him a horn. All right. So when we get into more of advanced tax strategies, another situation that happened where someone called and they were having some questions about how to handle their medical situation, insurance as it's related to, all right? So when we get into insurance, especially for entrepreneurs, because we don't have a job, right? I'm on a job, Doc, because they got good benefits, Doc. We don't do that, right? We gotta figure it out, okay? So 2 types of insurance for entrepreneurs that I know of. I'm sure there's all kind of other insurance. I'm sure you can figure other type of stuff out, but let's just we'll deal with 3 types of insurance, all right? So let's just say level 1 is I don't want to call it short-term insurance. And maybe Sandra, you can help me with this because I know you write some of this type of stuff. But what would be the correct terminology for the Pick-a-Pay program? Is that considered, is it short-term insurance or is it, it's not necessarily term, I'm talking medical insurance. But if you could text me that right quick so we just get our terminology correct. But I'll call it the Pick-a-Pay because that's what it's called. It's called Pick-a-Pay, the type of product I'm talking about. The Pick-a-Pay insurance plan. And when I get the correct terminology for it, we're talking medical insurance now. I'll update that. The second one will be the traditional insurance that you all know about. That's that good insurance from the job, shall we? This is the Obamacare, right? And the third will be supplemental, all right? Or what we call additional. All right, so the Pick-a-Pay program is basically a program that we offer to our part-time staff, okay? So full-time staff has, HSA plans and they got concierge service at, the traditional health care plan, blah, 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 and the firm pays for the whole entire plan. So that's taken care of. part-timers, they get the pick-a-pay insurance, all right? So our part-time staff, they're usually younger people. They don't have a whole bunch of kids, and you know they're kind of single, and they're somewhat healthy, all right? And so with the pick-a-pay program, this is really good for people who don't have insurance. They're uninsured, medically that is, and they can't afford to pay $1,000 a month. I think basic insurance is like on or about for a single person. It's like, or for a family, I believe it's like $1,000 a month without the credit that they offer from the marketplace. All right. So on average, basic insurance without a marketplace credit, it's like $1,000 a month. If you got a marketplace credit, it's about $700 or $800 based off of what you're telling them you make, and you got to pay the $250 a month, and that's what makes it affordable for people. Okay. Pick-a-pay is a different scenario. Pick-a-pay is, it's limits to how many times you can actually go to the doctor, and so let's just say it's one time that you can go to the doctor for the year, but they have like a whole bunch of other incentives for preventive maintenance. So, and you could go to CVS and get your medications and stuff like that. So this is a cheaper form of medical insurance, and it probably lands at about $125 a month, between $125 a month to like $250, depending on your age, your weight, and health, and all this type of stuff, right? And then you can also lower your premium based off of your goals in terms of your weight. So if you're able to, if you're coming on the scale and you're coming in hot because it's COVID, you could get on a plan and reduce the weight, by 20, 30 pounds or 40 pounds or whatever, and that will directly lower your bill from like $250 to like $150. It's like knock $100 off the bill, depending on your ability to commit to your weight program and actually meet your goals. Now, as you're meeting goals in these programs, the bill is reduced. So that's a really good thing to know. All right. Traditional insurance. We all know what this is. We all know what the marketplace is about. Again, for entrepreneurs, it's real tricky with that marketplace credit. I don't want to knock the marketplace credit, because there's some of us that are on the other end of the line that if you didn't have a marketplace credit, you wouldn't have insurance. So I don't even want to try to speak into that in any kind of way that will make anybody that is participating with that program feel offended. But I do want to say this: when you accept the marketplace credit, you also have to bear in mind that your income has to be disclosed in actuality. So marketplace credits work more specifically, in my opinion, for folks that are working jobs or might have contract labor that's coming in and their income is pretty steady. For entrepreneurs, your first quarter, second quarter might be crazy, and then third and fourth quarter might fall off, and then you got to balance it out and all this other type of stuff. So when you're dealing with the marketplace, you just got to really be on your square as it relates to your reporting and your bookkeeping and your CPAs and stuff like that. I don't have time for all of that. It's crazy. So I opted to do something a little bit different for the staff, because I have to maintain insurance, obviously, for my family and for my staff. And so we went into a different type of program for our business, and the business kind of covers staff, business covers family. All right, but that program is pretty expensive, and so we basically had to flip a house to be able to cover the expense for the company for the year, and that expense is written off. So either you take the credit from the marketplace, or you go buy a tax lien and specific for your medical responsibilities for the annual for the year. All right, and that's kind of how we were able to figure that out. And then the last thing here is the additional insurance. We'll call this the HSA. Because we have a high deductible plan here, a high spend plan, we were able to qualify for the HSA plan, which is the health savings account. So traditional insurance is your first line of defense. Should you have to go into the hospital and there's something major going on, you got to pay the deductible. That comes from the HSA account, and any other gaps that might occur while you're in the hospital, that come out of this HSA account. So this HSA account, all of this is tax deductible. All of this is a health savings account. All of this is a health write-off. Okay, it's a tax deduction is what I'm saying. All of these payments, premiums, annual premiums, health premiums, all of this stuff is a tax write-off. But the unique thing about this HSA account is that, investing through an HSA account, in my opinion, is truly an advanced tax strategy. And the reason that it is because I can put up to $7,000 annually into my HSA account, all right? And I love my HSA account because I get to use it like immediately, okay? Just like with the HSA, the only difference is it has to be for health-related expense, any health-related expense. So now, when we get into massage therapy is a gray area, okay? Because it's not necessarily health-related unless you got a condition. But now, a lot of massage chains are offering stretches, okay? So if you're not properly hydrated and you're not stretching, this leads directly to muscle degeneration and all of these other types of things. So hydration and stretching is very important. And so now, especially for life extension, so now, instead of just paying for, quote unquote, the massage, right? You can defend this if you ever audited, because if you opt to go to a massage parlor and opt for a stretch, the hydro stretch therapy, right? Where you're being hydrated and your muscles are being hydrated and your muscles are being stretched, you can pay for that service with HSA dollars. That is so very vital to life extension, because a lot of times when you get older, people get bone degenerative diseases and all this type of stuff, and it's not from getting old, it's from muscle atrophy. And muscle atrophy occurs because you're not using your muscles. In your mind, you're saying, oh, I'm old, I can't get up, my arms hurt, my legs hurt. Well, they got something now, Ma, called CBD. In fact, we could give you some nano CBD. You won't feel anything, and you could get out here and start running, right? But, the man gives you a water pill and puts in your head you're old, and you got to take 15 other medications. Now you don't feel like getting up, and so now you got muscle atrophy. So I say all this to say we want to fight against muscle atrophy. You fight against muscle atrophy by staying hydrated, drinking alkaline water, and getting stressed out. And I know this sounds like juvenile, but or I guess it depends. It could sound juvenile or not. But muscle atrophy is the number one, in my opinion, one of the worst things that can happen as you begin to age. And so you can reverse this. You can fight this right now by having the money set aside or money available to combat this now while you're able to. Yes, sir, we have a question.
Now, I don't have a question. I just want to interject and say, you're right. You can reverse that, and you don't have to accept being old. And then there's an example of the people in Asia. They know that. That's why a lot of them live, over 100
Ding
years
dong.
old, because they're still...
They're centurions.
Yeah. They're health conscious.
And they're health conscious. And they get up every day, they do their stretches.
Stretches, yeah.
That whole...
Yep. Exactly.
Tai
It
Chi.
ain't for nothing. It ain't for nothing.
It's stretch.
Yep.
Come on, man. It's life extension.
Yeah, life extension.
All right, cool. Rayford Kelly, Doc, I'm insured agent as well. I can help with that aspect as well. Let's talk. See, we got people on the Wealth Wednesdays watching right now. So if you're uninsured on the medical side, Rayford, or on the life side, but either way, let me know. But if you're watching on the YouTube and you're in the comments, Rayford Kelly's a partner. He's a good dude. He's back and forth between Atlanta and Augusta. We doing business with him, so I can vouch for his character. But if I believe he's saying he could do insurance on the health side or on the life insurance side, we want that life insurance business though, Rayford. But if you could do it on the health side, we'll give it to you. My man, Calvin Maddox, right quick questions. Doc, last minute. Remember, MJ did his finest work on the court in the fourth quarter. Maddox, come on, man. We got 250 people trying to get Roth IRAs at the last minute. Man, come on, we ain't set up for all of that. I mean, we are, but come on, y'all. Life insurance. Okay, Ray, we can shoot you some life insurance, no problem. All right, cool. We got life insurance. Come on, man. We got referrals, man. We can do the referring thing. You know, Sandra Terford be getting busy. She got a license now. Sandra Terford went and got a license. She saw Nicole Sella at Horse Farm. Like, I got a license. That's what's up, Sandra. I'm proud of you, man. All right, so check this out. We're talking about advanced tax strategies, okay? Because a lot of us is trying to figure out, you know, the game. And I see cats be telling people the wrong information. It's crazy. Well, you know, Doc, you know, you got bad credit. You know, you can get a PTIN, Doc. You know what I'm saying? We could just change our whole socials, you know, with the PTIN, Doc. You know, we can go get a whole new credit profile, Doc. You know what I'm saying? You get a whole new credit profile. You can go get a loan. You know what I'm saying? You get some business credit, Doc. You know, you get some business credit. We can go buy tax liens. Come on, y'all. Y'all listening to Brother Polite tell y'all to do that? And Dr. York and the Nuwabians? Come on, man. Stop it. Like, we got to use real solid information, man. Like, come on. We can't be going out like that. So all that P10 and CFIN and EFIN and all that type of stuff, like, we not about that here, right? We about how can we figure this out. So these all are real serious advanced tax strategies. Whatever money you pay on the pick a pay, that can be deducted off of your insurance. Whatever money you put on traditional insurance, that $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, whatever you spend annually for your entire staff, that comes out. It's a credit back to your business. All right. Additional insurance, HSA plans, the $7,000 going in is tax savings to you as an individual. So all of this stuff is advanced tax strategies in full and total control. Now, let's take a broader look at how we can use HSA accounts for investment. So if we have any questions before we go forward. We got any questions on that, Graham?
I don't see the questions on the ground.
I don't see them either on this end, which is why I was
But
asking you.
Let me check over here.
I got
Do
the
you
Facebook
have a CBD product you recommend?
CBD product. It depends. What are you trying to accomplish?
No. This is a question. I'm saying somebody. That's their question, not my question.
On where? On the ground?
Brian Jefferson. Do I
have a CBD
product you recommend that you recommend?
Is it time to open an HSA before 2021? Cost to open an account?
Yeah.
Can I have more than one? Okay, let's deal with these questions right now because we're actually jumping into that. So I'm glad you caught that, Raheem. So Brian Jefferson, who's also a partner, I think he's funded as well. His question is, class, is it time to open up the HSA before 2021? Yes. Midnight tonight. So you better call this number. Miss Cooper gonna give you a little bit of attitude, but you know, don't worry about it. She'll be all right. But tonight, y'all, come on. I mean, she doesn't give attitudes, but she's just like everybody is just like overwhelmed because there's so many applications coming in at the last minute. You know how we do. So, Brian, get your application in, man. Call the office right now. Get the application in. ASAP Rocky. Take a minute, fill it out, get it back. All right. Let's, the second part to that, what's the cost to open an account? There's no cost to open an HSA account. All right. This is you listen to Wealth Wednesdays, your partner, there's no cost for that. And can you have more than one? For my understanding, you can only have one HSA account per family. Okay, so if you're single, no children, no wife, blah blah blah, it's $3,500 that you can put into the HSA. So let's put this on the board. We're learning now. Health, savings, account.
35.
That's right. Man, you learning something, man. You about to take some phone calls next week. Serious, you gotta free me up, man. I gotta talk to Mr. Joshi. Mr. Joshi wanna buy the Greenbrier Mall. Come on, somebody. What we gonna do with the commission when it comes?
I don't know.
That's crazy. crazy, right?
Not buy a yacht or something.
No, I ain't buying no yacht. I'm gonna buy
I'll
a
buy a couple
building.
buildings.
You can buy a building.
Couple buildings.
We'll move the building. We'll move the office into the building. That's exactly what we're gonna do with that. All right, single HSA, 3,500. Okay. If your HSA and his family, 7,000. So I got a family, 7,000. All right. So you put the 7 racks in there, and I'm gonna get to your next question on the CBD in just a second. Put the 7 G's in there, because I think you have a family, Brian, if I'm not mistaken. Put the 7 G's in there, and now, I hear somebody on the phone. They're calling Miss Cooper. Hey, listen. Wealth Wednesday crew, do something nice for Miss Cooper and Miss Jennings, please. So you can send them something, maybe send them a gift card, you know what I mean? Send them some flowers, do something nice for them, make them feel appreciated. We do a lot to make everybody feel appreciated over here, but it'd be real nice if some of you latecomers, last minute people, and I hear footsteps coming, so I'm about to get yelled at. But it would be nice if y'all sent Miss Cooper, something nice, like a card or something that says, "We thank you for your support, make her feel appreciated." All right, yo. So anyway, I put the 7 G's in here, and what we do with it? We go buy some tax liens, right? Tax lien has some this, $7,000. We're not really getting no $250. We might. There's been a few times that I've done that, but on average, if you're spending 7, the house is probably gonna be worth $50,000. All right. So at least there's 25. You can sell this if it's worth 50. You don't want to put no work into it. Some of y'all do, but there's so many properties we don't want to get bogged down and tied up. So guess what? Money goes back. Let's say we get somebody on the hook for 35,000. That 30 or 37,000. We get the 7,000 back, and the 30 goes back into the HSA family. Now you got 37 racks in the HSA family. That's cold-blooded, man. Because that means if something goes down and anything happens to any of the kids, it's handled. And after the hospital is done, playing their games with the traditional insurance, and they stick you with that bill for $8,000, guess what? It don't got to go on your credit report. Why? Because you can pull out your HSA card and be the man and pay the whole bill in full before you leave the hospital. That is a very powerful strategy. So you want to be, especially on some grown folk type stuff, right? Because we all grown people on the line, right? Everybody on the line is grown. This is how grown people handle their business. We don't call our parents and be like, "Dad, I'm jacked up. I need to borrow 15 racks to go pay for this." Like, when medical bills come up and it's always unexpected, we got to know, okay, something's going to pop up. You can't run a whole year and think that you're going to get lucky and not have to go see that doctor. Like, hopefully, you don't have health issues. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you don't have any challenges. But if you got a family, you can't roll the dice thinking that everybody in the house is going to get through 12 months during a pandemic and not have to go see that doctor. Like, just being a grown person means that you got to have proper insurance, proper medical insurance. We got to be able to maintain these things. Just like Dr. Miles said, we got to be able to manage these things. Because if we don't manage it properly, it gets taken away from us. And our lives, our health, if it's not properly managed, can be taken away from us, which is what's happening right in front of our eyes with, John Fletcher, a.k.a. Ecstasy from Houdini, and Shabba-Doo. These cats is cutting out. In my opinion, these is young cats. You go to Google and type in a picture of Shabba-Doo, man. He was aging gracefully, dude. This dude looked like, he looked like he wasn't even sick. But it's more than meets the eye, as they would say with Transformers, right? So we got to keep our immune systems built, man. Yo, another interesting point that I read in a white paper, that 50% of the COVID bodies that are autopsies are being done on, 50% have vitamin D deficiencies. 50% have vitamin D deficiencies. So there's some kind of correlation between a vitamin D deficient person and how this COVID, situation handles in our bodies. Ms. Cooper is great. Many great combos with her. Okay, cool. Brian Jefferson's next question was, do you have a CBD product you recommend? Well, hopefully this year we will be able to recommend a product in April because I'm hoping that we'll be able to plant this year. We tried planting last year and then COVID hit, and so we couldn't get to the farm and blah, 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 blah. So we're gonna try again this year, right? So hopefully in April, we can send you a product, that we've grown on our own soil with our own seeds, that's organic at a 3,000 foot elevation on some black land. So that's my prayer for that with the CBD. CBD products, you don't know what you're getting. It says CBD, but is it CBD? So for people that are really into that, looking for the oil to go deep into their joints and kind of rejuvenate and do the work, you're gonna have to do that yourself, man. And so like if you're really into that, I would recommend that you look at getting some land. I think Brian, you are in Tennessee if I'm not mistaken. But if you're really into that, get a hemp license, man. Really get into the understanding of how to synthesize that plant. That plant is a very powerful plant. I don't really talk about it a whole lot on the Wealth Wednesday side because I don't want to take the narrative into a different direction. But as we get deeper into this farm and get more things established on the farm in terms of water and power, because we're having to bring solar to the top of the mountain and we're having to bring atmospheric water generators to the top of the mountain, which is also one of the reasons why we weren't able to plant this year, because I didn't want to be dependent on just rainwater. But the more that we get into the CBD product, the more that I'm starting to learn more about, the power of this hemp plant
And the many uses of it.
and the many uses of it. It is something that God has given us that's really off the chain. So, I implore everybody, we're not talking about weed, we're not talking about cannabis, we're not talking about all of that. We're talking about straight up hemp. The paper money used to be printed on hemp. All right, the American flag when Bessie Ross sold it was sold with hemp. All right, so there's clothing that's made out of hemp. There's antibacterial socks, Mamba socks that stop athletes' feet that are made out of hemp. There's a million products, over 800 different products that come out of the hemp, and then more specifically, the CBD oil is really hard on the liver. When you get into processing CBD oil and you do your research on it, it's really hard on the liver. So Brian, when you ask the type of CBD that we're going to be making, once we juice the oil out of the stalk, I'm taking the process a little bit further into something called nano CBD, because some of our people have liver problems, and so CBD sometimes the product is a little bit too strong for the liver to digest, depending on how it was processed. And so my game with the farm, is a part of my retirement plan, is to produce nano CBD, which is breaking down the molecular structure of the CBD oil that comes from our farm into what we call nano CBD, which is the nano molecular structure of the CBD. So my CBD that we'll be creating or producing at Sassafras is clear because it's been broken down to its nano particles. So I'm excited about it. It's a long process. I mean, we're 3 years into it, but we're moving along. We've expanded from 5 acres to now almost 50 acres. So we're on a land grab right now. So as soon as we get everything completed and I finally can get my machinery to the top of the mountain and Dr. Parker can help get us the solar and Moses West he's building the machine now so we can get that up there and get the water and start holding tanks and stuff. We're going to be in a real good spot. So I'm excited about it, man. But yeah, that's the deal with the CBD. So hopefully, everybody doesn't have to take it that far, but You know, I want to be able to control the product that I create. I don't want to just be like buy it from somebody and they say, yeah, this is CBD, and then it just be, you know, oil, cod liver oil, and then you're taking it like, oh yeah, I'm putting it on my arms. It makes me feel good. It's cod liver oil. You know, but that's what they do to us because we don't know. We don't own nothing. We can't produce it ourselves, so we don't even know the process. We just take it at face value. All right. Questions. Does everybody understand this with the health savings account? Questions. What classes would you recommend to learn how to read stock market and how to invest? This comes from CLM 170373. All right, CLM. I'll give you some books to read, if that's what he's asking. What classes would we recommend? We're going to deviate for just a second and we'll get back to this advanced tax strategy. I want to get through all of this tonight if I can. So the brother's question is for the class, what classes would you recommend to learn how to read the stock market? So when I first started investing, I actually started as a Forex investor. That was my first investment. May 15th, 2007. I cut a check for $65,000 and invested in the three Hebrew boys. Long story. But long and short, my money wound up in receivership. And I still can't get to that money to today. I got like 2 disbursements, but I didn't get on my money. But that's kind of how I got into tax liens, because I had made an investment on Forex. Something went wrong. No fault of mine. I just didn't do the research and my due diligence, but I just wanted to be an investor. And so as I was investing in the Forex, I was also investing in the stock market, which is kind of how I got pushed into real estate. And so my partner, Lamar Seals, who was one of the first partners at what we now know as the Real Estate Group Partners, Lamar was an AXA financial advisor. And actually, Lamar told me about self-directed IRAs and raising money and being able to invest. He gave me a whole layout in 2007. But my mindset was not where it is right now, and I was just trying to figure it out. And so I wasn't able to grasp the information, all the information that he had available to do what we're doing now. It took me 15 years to figure it out. I'm on the slow bus. Sorry, class. So anyway, when we started to invest, we opened up an account at Scottrade, and I had an E-Trade account as well. And I asked Lamar, I said, yo, before I do this, I need to get some information on what to do. Lamar gave me 3 books. The first book was, number 1, it's after he wired me $25,000 to figure it out. He said, oh, you want to trade? Here's $25,000. This is money that we both put in. But he was trading it. He had it in an account because I was making money and give it to him, and he put it in an account. And then I said, yo, I wanted to take some control over it to do some investments. And so he put in a self-directed IRA at that time, and we decided to do 2 things with it. Some of the money would go to tax liens, and some of the money we would invest on the market. Kind of the same strategy that we're using right now, 15 years later. First book he recommended was If It's Raining in Brazil, by Starbucks.
Wow. That's deep.
Super deep. This book's written by a gentleman named Peter Navarro. Navarro is now, one of Trump's administrators, advisors, whatever. He's at Berkeley. He teaches. But this book, If It's Raining in Brazil, by Starbucks, is an introduction to the concept of what we call big picture thinking. Big picture thinking, all right? Which leads me to the second book that I would recommend, called Big Picture Thinking. Also written by Peter Navarro. Now, what is big picture thinking? big picture thinking is how we started off the show today with the robots doing the Running Man. If the robots put up a video on Facebook, which you could go look at, doing the Running Man, and they doing the robot and all this other stuff, they doing the moonwalk, and these are robots in tandem, we might want to take a look at buying stock in the parent company of Boston Dynamics. That's called big picture thinking. All right, that whole concept is the introduction to the concept, if you're unfamiliar, is broken down If It's Raining in Brazil by Starbucks to the point of the title of the book. And then Big Picture Thinking, which is an audio book. I think you can find it as a paperback, but it's even better as an audio book. I bought mine as an audio book because I like to put it in the car and put the CDs in the car. I still got the CD player. The Range Rover got a whole CD thing underneath the dash. You can still put CDs in there and change them. But I would put the CDs in there and listen to what he was talking about, and then I would go try it. So I would listen, get some information, and go try it. Listen, try it, listen, try it. Now, the third book I'm going to recommend is H.M. Gartley. Oh, man. Profits in the Stock Market. All right. This dude's name is H.M. Gartley. H.M. Gartley is noted on Wall Street as the person who helped to invent the harmonic scanner. H.M. Gartley's book, Profits in the Stock Market, is also the gold standard. I won't say it's the gold standard now because Vista Equity Partners, in my opinion, Robert F. Smith, his trading ideologies are the gold standard currently. But for the past 100 years, Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, everybody has used the teachings of Profits in the Stock Market by H.M. Gartley as a basis for entering and exiting in the market. That's what taking profits are. Profits in the stock market all have to deal with your approach to entrance and exit. All right. Now, there's a whole bunch of other books that I can get into. Somebody's going to tell me, well, don't forget about Japanese candlestick trading, Dr. Anderson. Oh, yeah, and don't forget about these other books. There's a whole bunch of other books that are involved with technical trading and Fibonacci sequence and all these other things I don't want to overwhelm you with because you said that you're just now getting interested in it. But as you can see, I got some chops for trading. I try not to talk about them a whole lot on the Wealth Wednesday because then it takes us down the rabbit hole of trading, and I don't want to give trading advice over the internet. I'm just, it's not tangible, and then y'all go and y'all make a mistake, and then you point it at me talking about, I told you to do this, and I did it. But I'm going to tell you where to go get these books so that you can learn, and you can learn about what we call indicators. If you can understand indicators, and I think why I'm so good at real estate is because I spent a lot of time as a trader. There's a very fine line between trading and investing as a stockbroker, or I won't say a stockbroker, as an investment trader, trading on the market yourself, and investing in real estate, especially on the level that we're investing at, because I think that I stayed up so many nights, that's not good for your health either. I've learned that I actually need sleep for my brain to operate at its optimum. You know what I mean? So all of that waking up at 2 a.m. for the London market, you can have that. It ain't worth all of that. I know exactly where to go put the money here and make, $500,000. I'm not tripping on that, But I say all that to say that for some of you younger people that, y'all hungry and y'all really want to just get paid, you know what I mean? Y'all can stay up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning on the London exchange trying to get that 100 pips, you know what I mean? But I say all of this to say that I learned how to identify opportunity, because that's what these books teach you, especially Profits in the Stock Market. Profits in the Stock Market gives you the fundamentals on what the arbitrage actually looks like. And once you can identify arbitrage and what arbitrage looks like, you can take that into any market. You can take it in the real estate market. You can take it in the gold market, precious metals market. You can take it in the self-directed IRA market. You can take it in the Bitcoin market. It's all about the arbitrage. And until someone teaches you how to identify arbitrage and take advantage of it, like Robert F. Smith tells us to, over a 10-year period in a tax-sheltered vehicle, until you understand that that's the game, then you're going to be trading your time for money. And that's really a hard statement, but it's truth. And so, this was what helped me identify the arbitrage. And, I'm a good trader. I could probably get out here and trade my butt off right now, but I just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really trying to do that right now. God gives us a couple of different talents. It's up to you to use wisdom to choose one and just focus on building that out. Can I go hop on and open up a window and show y'all, all the tricks of entering and exiting? Yeah, but there's other people that can do that too. And the Fletcher brothers is real good at that. The Fenwick, JW and JR Fenwick brothers, they out there. The Mooney twins, Paul Mooney's sons, Daryl, I think Dwayne is watching right now. They on my Facebook. You can reach out to them. They can help with that. Kathy Kirkland. I have a group of super traders that trade a portion of my accounts. Kathy Kirkland, she's on my Instagram. They call her the Queen of the Cloud. Kevin Jefferson lost a whole bunch of my money, but that's my homeboy. So we love him. But I'm still, you blew my account up, Kev. I know you watching right now, so that's kind of crazy. But Kev is a swing trader, right? And Kev he's the risque trader. You know what I mean? And he could give you some of his tear sheets for the past 24 months and show you what he's doing. Kevin Jefferson's on the Facebook fan page right now. I think he's watching, right? So, there's a bunch of super traders that I deal with, and these people that I'm telling y'all, these are not regular people, right? These are people that get on planes and they go to Dubai, they go to conference, they present information. These are people that trade on behalf of IML, like IML. When y'all go and y'all buy into that, and they tell you they got these super traders, these are the people that be trading for them. You know what I'm saying? So like I have been able to muster up a group of super traders that we put in our back pocket, that I monitor, that I watch. All right, and so it's kind of like how I grow, what it is that I got, so I could, do deals and build buildings, so we can not have to turn the heat on 4 hours before we do the show. We'll have our own heat next 24 months, hopefully. 36 months.
With solar panels on the roof.
With solar panels on the side of the building, we're going to change the landscape of Atlanta. This will be the only black, seriously, we'll be the only black skyscraper downtown. And it'll be in every movie, because you won't be able to erase this building, this black building, out the way. I'm telling you, it's powerful. Can't wait for Mr. Joshi to finish this deal.
Skyscraper too.
Skyscrapers. Mama, I love you. P.O.P. Hold me down. We'll be able to put that on the building at night.
What if it's solar power but then digital? Like
It'd be whatever you want it to be. Whatever you can think about, that's what it's gonna be.
Facts.
You tell Dr. Parker what you want. You want Wake Up to be on the billboard at night, you put Wake Up. Do whatever you want. Wealth Wednesday. All right, so look, this is the deal. So hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully you take that seriously, because that's real talk right there. That ain't made up. That ain't special effects. That's what it is, man. I had to actually live this. I didn't get a chance to just make it big overnight. Like, I've been out here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, damn, Doc got a lot of knowledge. Yo, we've been out here. We've been doing this. We got time on the books.
Since how it is.
That's how it is. All right, cool. What are the classes we got going here? Blah, 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 blah. Live chats. Okay. Let's keep it moving. We good on the streams? We not stuck?
Everything is good.
You sure?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Everything is current and caught up.
All right. Let's continue. Let us move on. All right, so getting back to advanced tax strategies, we talked about the ESA accounts, we talked about the HSA accounts. Let's get into this Roth IRA, all right? Because when we throw down on the Roth, and I got a million calls about this today. Doc, tell me about the Roth IRA. Listen, people. William B. Roth. This is a tax-free environment. All right? This is tax-free. Well, Doc, what about the traditional? Traditional is a tax deferred. And this is what I want to talk about before we get into the advanced tax strategies of this, okay? Because another important point, we're talking about books and recommendations. The basis of what we're dealing with, I know I talked about this on the radio today. David McKnight, The Power of Zero. These are probably the fundamental principles in this book. So please, Instagram, y'all need to get this book for all you newcomers to the Wealth Wednesday platform, The Power of Zero. This talks about how to get to the 0% tax bracket and transform your retirement. Very powerful read. So this is kind of fundamental, rudimentary principles of what we're dealing with. But tax-free income for life. This is a new book. Actually, one of the listeners on Wealth Wednesday last week recommended, or they didn't recommend, they chimed in on the chat that the new book that Dr. David McKnight put out, which is the follow-up to The Power of Zero, it's called Tax-Free Income for Life. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Tax-Free Income for Life. David McKnight. All right? A step-by-step plan for a secure retirement. I actually didn't even know that this book was out until the listener commented in the comments on the YouTube comments, which prompted me to automatically go to Amazon, order the book, and then it came to the spot. So this book here is cold-blooded. I'm in this book right now, and this book talks about a lot of great things that we need to be talking about. So, you know, last year we kind of dealt with The Power of Zero. This year we're going to be dealing with tax-free income for life. And I actually learned something because Power of Zero came out in 2008, 2007, 2008. I was getting ready to launch every book that I ever came out with. And now watching McKnight drop Power of Zero first, and then following up 24 months later with this book here, Tax-Free Income for Life, I think I'm going to pause on releasing all 10 books at once. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to really take our time. And I was thinking about this. I was like, yo, maybe I should release the rules to entrepreneurship first. You know, I sent it to George Frazier. He co-signed on it. He was like, yo, he's writing it forward now, which is cool. I'm appreciative of it. But I think the first book that I need to launch is the No Mortgage Strategy. Straight up, no chase. I was like, when I was reading this book right here, I was like, yo, The Power of Zero is just as strong, or actually the No Mortgage Strategy is probably stronger than The Power of Zero because it's a different type of situation. But it's just as strong as The Power of Zero for real estate because The Power of Zero is like a game changer. You know what I mean? So the No Mortgage Strategy is a game changer. It's probably one of the most noted philosophies that I'm noted for. So I'm like, yo, let me put the No Mortgage Strategy out first and then follow up with Super Tax Lien Strategy. So the next 24 months is already laid out. You know what I'm saying? We about to drop the No Mortgage Strategy and then follow up with the Super Tax Lien Strategy. And then in another 24 months, we already got it lined out, sitting right here, printed, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And that way we give enough time for these strategies to permeate and for us to take y'all on this 10-year journey to wealth accumulation. I don't think all of this stuff needs to come out just this quick. You know what I mean? So, and Sandra Tedford suggested that, and I was like, nah, I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. But sitting down reading this book, Tax-Free Income, really kind of reset my thought process on how I need to release my strategies, man, because they really need to just have enough time to breathe and grow legs. You understand? Like
out the stuff that they.
Well, we know that it works. You know, it's changed our lives, but we need to give it time for everyone to utilize it and see that it works for them. So anyway, I say this to say, in Tax-Free Income for Life, a step-by-step plan to secure for a secure retirement. This is the contents, and I'm in 2021, we're going to be dealing with tax-free income just as much as we was dealing with Power Zero, okay? So there's a foreword, obviously, written by his CPA, and I'm just going to talk to y'all real quick about the 10 chapters, and then we'll move on. The 2 great retirement risks is chapter 1. The risk multiplier is chapter 2. A trip to Monte Carlo is chapter 3. Guaranteed lifetime income is chapter 4. Files in the ointment, chapter 5. Aligning the stars, 6. 7 is surviving the Roth conversion gauntlet. I've gotten a lot of calls about that. Number 8, putting it all together. Number 9, the conclusion. And number 10, frequently asked questions. Why am I suggesting this now? I'm suggesting this now because we got to understand what the buckets are. Okay? So when we go to the Power of Zero, McKnight talks about these 3 buckets. Let's put them on the board. Bucket number 1 is the income bucket. Bucket number 2 is the tax deferred. And that's your 401k. Bucket number 3 is the tax-free bucket. Okay, now listen to what I'm about to tell y'all. We're getting ready to go into the final hour. We're already in the final hour of Wealth Wednesday. What I'm about to tell you is very important. And if you haven't learned anything during the Wealth Wednesday, like, you really need to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you right now. Everything that you've been told as it relates to financial management is wrong. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. But in my opinion, having written 10 different books, getting ready to launch them, everything that we've been told is wrong. For instance, you're told to buy a house using a mortgage. I don't necessarily think that that's correct. You're told to go to school and use a student loan to pay for an education that when you graduate, you can't even get a job to pay the interest wrong. I think that's wrong. We live in a world that tells you to go use a car note to buy a car that you can't afford to pay, or you can't maintain your insurance, huh? And now you get repoed. So we're in a society that's counterproductive. They're giving us counterproductive information that's not going to help us to accumulate wealth or be financially solvent. That's just the way that it's set up. When you go to work, the job tells you, hey, we have a 401k program that you can participate on, okay? So in actuality, you're paying into this plan that the job sets up, that the job gets tax credits for, that the job takes your money that they're paying you, they're getting it right back, and they're investing on the market, and they're getting the gains, only to say, hey, we're gonna match you what you're putting in. So in essence, you're trading your time for money. They're taking the money back that you're earning, they're investing that money, and they're only matching you per month what you're putting in while they're making thousands of dollars and getting tax breaks on, and you're staying on this job for 10, 20, 30 years.
44.
So in essence, if you put in $1,000 every month, they put in $1,000 a month, that's $24,000 a month, or year, annually. You stay on the job for 10 years. Over 10 years, you got $240,000. You think that you're doing something. You think that you're doing something. Whereas we funded accounts in Roth IRAs in June of this year, deployed funds in July, money got back into the account before the end of the year from $75,000 to $150,000, and now we're about to redeploy the $150,000, and that's about to bring back another $300,000 by the time that we started with the 75 in June of 2020. So June of 2021, there should be somewhere between $350,000 and $500,000 in that same account that we deployed $75,000 out of just 12 months prior. 12 months. I can't make that up. I got the tear sheets. I got the HUD ones to prove it. But you're being told to stay on the job for 10 years to get to 250. 10 years. And in 12 months, we turned 75 into almost 500. Or let's say 350. Something is wrong with the information that we're being told. If they're telling us to participate in the 401k. And then what they're not even telling you is that even if you participate in the 401k, guess who's your silent partner? The government. So these concepts, this is what Power Zero talks about. Power Zero says that you're on the job, you're making earned income. This is what's even more important about this, because this is earned income. This ain't passive income. This is earned income. Earned income is coming in that you're getting taxed on. You get taxed on this money. And they're telling you the system is already built up to tell you, hey, put that money here. You go for it. You don't know any better. You're like, all right, this is what the man told me to do. This is what we do, right? Nobody's questioning the man. Who questions the white man? Nobody does that, right? Racism and white supremacy tells us not to question them, so we just do it, right? So we just do as told. We put the money in the tax-deferred space. Well, guess what? You stay on the job, you real good for master. You make Mr. Charlie a whole bunch of money, and now at the end of the day, you tired, you annoyed. You know, you done gave up the best years of your life for Mr. Charlie, and you got $500,000. Oh, you did? I did real well, Mr. Doctor. I got $500,000. I talk to these cats all day. The person with $500,000 that calls up in the account is way more difficult to deal with than the person who calls up and ain't got but $6,000 in their Roth. Why? The person with the 6 G's that they got in the Roth IRA, they willing to listen and they willing to take chances and risks. These people right here that got the 250 and 500,000, oh, you know, I can't take no risk, doc. This is all I got. Man, listen, we put this together in 12 months. I can't make that up. So, you know, it's a mindset. You know, somebody who got this right here, oh, well, you know, I ain't gonna roll all of it over in the tax liens, doc. This is all I got. I get it. I understand. That's all you got. You know? But the government is your partner. The government is your partner. And remember, the last time I checked, the national debt right now is at $27 trillion. If you read this book here, McKnight talks about, and he's one of the first people to break this down, McKnight talks about the risk multiplier. And he talks about an unrealized debt and the actual debt, it's more like $200 trillion. Okay? I don't want to get into the math, but if you go to chapter 2 into the risk multiplier, he actually has a CPA that breaks down the actual numbers of what the actual national debt in the United States is. It's unprecedented. And so what I'm saying is, if the national debt currently is, if we just dealing with what they're telling us currently, if it's $27 trillion, right? That means if you divide that 27 trillion number by the 320 million Americans in America, and assuming that only a third of that 320 trillion, or 20 million, Americans, only a third of them are actually paying taxes. That puts the burden, right, of the taxes right at about $250,000 for every taxpayer. So for all y'all Wealth Wednesdayers that got the $500,000 or the 250,000, well, I don't know, doc. You know, I done worked a long time for this right here. I don't know if these tax liens is gonna work, doc. Well, guess what? If the government ever says, hey, we gotta pay this debt, guess where they're gonna go? They're gonna go to the pool of money that CalPERS says is available, and there's $260 billion in there. They're gonna go to that first to pay off their debt. I'm just saying. So this is what the Power of Zero is talking about. The Power of Zero is talking about, hey, you've been lied to, okay? They're pulling wool over your eyes on what my cousin would call the 3-card Molly game. So what you want to do is get up out of this bucket, right, and get into this bucket. You want to be able to go from earned income to tax-free. That's what you want to do. This is the Roth. How can I get to the Roth? But most people sleep on the Roth because the Roth has limitations. They say, oh, well, there's no way that you could get to have $500,000 in the Roth. Yes, there is. But they're not going to tell you this. Why? Because don't nobody want you to know what the real deal is. The whole game is to keep you ignorant. The whole game is to teach you what not to do. The whole game is to get you to buy in, to buying a car note, to buying a house note, to going to school. Who uses an education with a student loan? Like, who does this? You're getting educated by professors who are not millionaires, man. I would be pissed if I went to Georgia State School of Business and I had to go take out a loan and sit in front of a freaking professor that ain't never made $1 million, that don't even have a freaking payroll, that can't even sit up here and tell me how to invest my money, that don't even know what profits in the stock market is, don't even know what a damn super trader is, don't even know who the super traders are, are not in relation with super traders. I would be pissed if I went to Georgia State and I paid money and the professor was not as prepared as damn Dr. Anderson is. I would be pissed. I'd be like, yo, this is a hoax. Give me my money back. Right now. I'd be protesting. I'd call Sharpton. We'd be walking around the damn school. Give me my money. This is a hoax. I'd be that dude. But you know what? I'm in knowledge, right? I'm in space. I'm in the knowledge space. And I know better. And the whole game is to keep you ignorant so they can continue to do what they're doing. Yes, sir.
Imagine if CEOs were professors.
CEOs are professors. But our educational system, no knock to the system, because I know my pops is watching. He spent his whole life in education. My mom spent her whole life in education. I get it. You understand? But our educational system in the United States is not set up for learning. It's not set up for wealth accumulation. It's not set up for success as it relates to entrepreneurship, because the fundamental and rudimentary building blocks are not being taught and they're not put in place. If you want to learn, you have to get with someone who is doing what it is that you want to do. In my space, I want to raise unprecedented amounts of money so that we can go do what the hell we're doing right now. Sell malls like Greenbrier, sell malls like the West End, rebuild the Tyler Perry Studios. And how do you raise that kind of money? I can't go to my professor and be like, yo, I'm in a deal selling a freaking Greenbrier mall. Nigga be like, what? How the hell you do that? Where you get that from? Don't nobody understand that, right? I gotta have relationships with Michael V. Roberts, who sent me the freaking deal. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I gotta be in relation with billionaires. I gotta be in relation with Robert F. Smith. I gotta be able to get Mr. Smith on the phone when we talking about helping Ozzy Aru so he don't have to file a bankruptcy. Come on, this shit is new in Atlanta. I gotta be in communication with people that are doing it on a bigger level than I am. And so if your 5 people in your orbit is your barber and your baby mama and your homie, right? And you get a big fish talking about they want to buy malls, it don't equate. It don't equal out. Back to the lesson at hand. Wasn't that a Snoop? Back to the lesson at hand.
Yep.
Something to make them understand from a young G perspective. Man, I gotta give myself a bomb. Alright. Because you don't know, she could be earning her man. And at the same time burning her man. What? Snoop Dogg. Alright, listen. Earned income comes into this bucket. This is the earned income bucket. Earned income bucket. Come on, y'all. The man is telling you to put your money in the tax deferred bucket. But what you need to do, I said what you need to do, class. What you need to do is get into the tax-free bucket. You need to get into the tax-free bucket. That's the bucket that the man can't tax you on. That's the bucket that the man can't take your money from. That's the money that you free goes into the William B. Roth Fund. But you can't do that because the man has told you to put your money in the tax deferred space. Don't worry, it'll be all right. Just keep your money in the 401k. Keep participating. Keep putting your $1,000 in, and we'll give you $1,000. We're gonna match you. We're gonna tell you. We're gonna say everything's gonna be all right until they go in there and take your nest egg from you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the government comes and takes your bread? You participating with the government on the 401k plan. Oh, well, Dr. Anderson, I can't qualify for the Roth. What? The Roth says as long as you got earned income, you qualify. You just can't put more than $6,000 a year in there. Well, Doc, if I put $6,000 a year in there, what do? Well, hey, one of my mentees from back in the day, Future, he out in where's he in? Oakland, California. He put a list together that was so strong, talking about you could take the money in the Roth in a self-directed IRA. I'm not suggesting that you do this. And he listed all of the companies besides Tesla that were competing with Tesla. So this kid lists like NOI. I wasn't even hip to NOI. He's like, yo, Doc, check this out. NOI is like almost $2,000 a share. This is Tesla's direct competitor. And he's listing all these other, Tesla-like competition stocks. It's like 6 other companies. I have it on my Blackonomics Facebook fan page if you look at it. 6 other stocks. Put the 6 in there, leave it on autopilot. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's nuts. You're talking about $1,000 on each one of those Tesla stocks? All of the other companies that's competing with Tesla and the other 6? Oh my God, that's crazy. Maybe you put $500 on each one of those and then put $3,000 in $500 increments on the Tesla stocks, and then you go find another $3,000 with Boston Dynamics and the other 5 companies that compete with Boston Dynamics for robotics. Oh, that sounds like a portfolio. Because what now? That's in a tax-free space, man. So now you're getting compounded interest on these stocks that are about to run. All that electronic stuff's about to run. But we're not thinking like that. We like, yes, boss, sir. Can I get you your coffee today, sir? I'm so proud to be here today, sir. I's got my 500,000, sir, and I'm just so happy to be here today, sir. I'm sorry I was late last week. By 5 minutes, sir. I promise I'll do better in 2021, sir. Come on, man. 500,000 sitting in the bank. In 12 months, we turned 75 into 350, almost 500. This 12 months ain't even realized yet. So we'll talk about that once July 1 hit to see where we at. From the time that the funds was deployed. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like, we gotta really get into this, man. So when we understand the power of the Roth, of course they're not gonna tell you how to flip the limitations of the Roth. Come on, man. Everybody would be doing it.
If you knew it, you would do it.
They're not trying to tell you this. They're not trying to tell you. They're going to tell you, yeah, the Roth IRA is powerful. Ain't nobody telling you how to use no self-directed Roth IRA. Come on, man. Kiyosaki not telling you that. Brother Polite don't know nothing about that. Umar Johnson ain't telling you that. I'm not making shots, man. No shots fired. Oh, fire in the comments. Come on, man. If Boyce Watkins ain't telling you this, man, he don't know. You can't tell me Cats is on the internet all day. All day. All day. Update. Financial News Network, blah, 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 blah. When do you have time to learn? When are you shutting down to read? Wealth Wednesdays couldn't be every day. Oh, Doc, this is so great. We got to do this every day. We couldn't do this every day. Come on, man. You going to disrespect the platform like that? You want watered down information? The only reason why the platform is so cold right now is because we actually in transaction. We get off the line, the phone ring, somebody talk about 100 million for a mall. I'm like, damn, ain't nobody buying no mall right now. This dude is, right? Like, you gotta leave time for learning. Then you share. You can't be sharing all day, every day, 24 hours a day. What are people learning? So we just gotta be a little bit more, I'm not knocking boys, I'm not knocking these cats. We just gotta be a little bit more selective about our information, where the source is coming from. Are these experts working out? This is right here, this is the gym, man. This is literally the gym of entrepreneurship. When we build this set for the next 24 months, we're gonna have bags in here. We're gonna have the inverters. I'm gonna be doing the inverts upside down, trying to get the stomach under control so I can get back in my suits for the summertime. It's the gym, man. And if you're not out here working your muscles, you're gonna get muscle atrophy. There's no way you could be working your muscles if you're running your mouth all day long, 24 hours a day. Come on, man. The subject matter expert is supposed to be the expert. How is he the expert if he's not learning?
You wasn't with me in the gym.
Are we clear on this right here? This Roth IRA is powerful. What we got going on? When is the no mortgage strategy coming out? My birthday, February 1. In fact, the cover is done. We'll share it with y'all very shortly. All right, so we're talking advanced tax strategies. I got one more, then I'm gonna get out of here for the night. Is this 7,000, or is it 7? It's 7 if you're of age. It's 6,000 that goes in. So he said, oh, you can only put 6,000 in there.
You got one more question.
You know what I could do with 6 G's? What's the question?
The debt is actually 200. I said, I remember when we were talking about that.
The debt is actually what?
200 trillion due to. Hold on, damn.
200 trillion due to the. What's the cat talking about?
Damn, I lost the. Hold on, let me go back up. Due to all the derivatives out there.
The derivatives is what.
Derivatives, yeah.
Fraternal House. Crypto Yo. The debt is actually 200 trillion due to the derivatives. Yes, that is what is discussed in Tax-Free Income for Life. This is McKnight's new follow-up. So you are correct out there. Y'all are on point, man. This is a dope class, man. I'm enjoying this. Cats is thinking. This is the thinking class. Thinking man and thinking woman's class. All right, so we put the 6 G's in here. Well, yo, my uncle told me, well, you know, you what are you gonna do with the $6,000 that you just put in the Roth, Dr. Anderson? I'm like, yo, Corin, man, like, come on, dude. You know what you could do with 6 racks? 6 racks won't buy you a house. In New York City, no. In Jersey, maybe. In Newark, definitely. I'll call the Land Bank Authority in a heartbeat. I don't know if I want to own in Jersey, because my grandfather used to scream and cry about the taxes, and that was like 30 years ago. He was crying about Bergen County taxes in Teaneck. It was like 37%. Crazy. Who does that? Can imagine what the taxes are in Jersey right now. I wouldn't buy there. I'd buy anywhere where there's a tax liens available, though, especially in realm where I don't got to wait no 12 months or 24 months or whatever they make you wait in those townships up there in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to know where to go. Placement is everything. So we got 6 G's in the Roth IRA, and it's self-directed. Now I got autonomy over what I want to invest in. And see, this is the part that's crazy right now. Fiduciaries don't even trade your money. They're not even trading your money right now. You know who's trading your money? That's right. The robot is trading your money. The robot is trading your dough. So the robot don't have human error. The robot can find the arbitrage. The robot can be programmed to find the arbitrage. In fact, humans don't want to stay up at night. They get tired, they get sleepy, right? They might go get some coffee. Kevin Jefferson, I love you, Kev. I'm not throwing you under the bus. But Kev had me wide open. We was over leveraged. You know, this is what we practiced at that time. Super reckless, right? He's on the market, over leveraged. It's like 90% leverage. he had to go to the potty. He was like, man, I had to piss. He left the screen open in the trade. He went to piss. He came back. My account was blowed up. That's real talk, man. I mean, no knock on the homie. Like, it happens. I get it. I just, I was linked to his account. So everybody lost because he had to go and piss. So I'm like, yo, like, how do we mitigate that, yo? How do we address that? Robot, like, they got it figured out, man. The robots is trading. The red light, green light software is happening right now. Like, nobody's trading on Wall Street. Goldman Sachs is not trading. They're using the robots, okay? They only using human analysis to speculate on where the arbitrage is going to be located at. The trades and the placements and the algorithms is being monitored by bots right now. So I say that to say,
Invest in the bots.
I'm not telling you to invest in bots. Although I will own some bots, especially for the Goon Squad. Because I'm like, yo, I think that is dope. To go get the bot, make the bot lift up the safe and put the safe wherever the hell we want to do it, right?
So we can live
Yeah,
over.
it's a 10-ton safe. We're not picking that up, man. Let the bot pick it up. So I say all this to say, the self-direction gives you the power and the authority to direct. Like, why would I want fiduciaries to direct me into the CCA, which stands for Corrections Corporation of America? I don't want to participate with that. Like, I'm not trying to do that, right? So, I'm not saying self-direct everything, but, I think I could, 75,000 in 12 months to $500,000, 350 to 500,000. I think I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? So if I can do that in 12 months, what the hell can we do in 10 years? Robert Smith says to continue to arbitrage over a 10-year period. So this is what it is. This is the truth. This is what truth looks like. But we can't keep accepting someone else's truth as our truth, because it's not truth. It's their truth that they need for you to accept so that they can have their truth realized. But what about our truth? What about your truth? What about the truth for your kids? You know what I'm saying? What about when it's time for your kids to do something? As parents, we got to be superheroes, man. We can't let these kids down. These kids talking about, Daddy, I want to go do this. You got to figure that out. You can't come up short for your kids. Oh, I can't do that this year, Doc. Well, what are you talking about? Kids don't forget that. Kids don't forget none of that. So you got to make it happen. You got to create these accounts to make it happen. And honestly, before we move forward, something that I learned in this book that I'm going to share with y'all as we close out this last advanced tax strategy for the night is that we have to have accounts for every major purchase in our lives. Let me just share this with you real quick, all right? So what we're doing right now is we're going over the advanced tax strategies for the Roth IRA Constellation, but I want to add some stuff to this, all right? So probably one of the first issues is auto. We're talking about expenses for 2021. I don't know what your expenses look like, but I'm going to just share with you like my expenses, okay? So we got auto, right? I got multiple vehicles, and one vehicle is always in the shop for whatever reason, okay? So I have to put together an LLC specific for auto. So this is my auto LLC. Let me put this here. Auto LLC. Okay, I can't be without transportation. It's just where I am with my life right now. I can't handle that. So we got multiple trucks, we got drivers, we got sprinters. It's just crazy. So there's an auto LLC to cover insurance, maintenance, blah, blah, blah. There's a housing LLC, of which the property is not even titled to. This is just an LLC to handle the expenses of the facility. So there's a housing LLC. Because we got multiple spots. We got farms, boathouse, there's a lot going on. So we got a housing LLC. All right. Now, we're getting into the nitty gritty. We got retirement. Which is not an LLC, it's an IRA. Okay? And in the retirement, there's insurance. Which is party to the retirement. Insurance is not an IRA, it's insurance. Okay? And then we have the health savings.
HSA.
That's right. And here we have educational savings.
ESA.
That's right. Okay.
Thank you,
So
Professor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. There's other things that you might have going on that might not fit into. I know Brian Jefferson was asking about the travel. Okay. So in the housing LLC, right, there's travel or different things that you want to do around the house. You know, we got solar panels, solar roof going up. You know, we got Tesla batteries being installed. We try to get the saltwater batteries. They're in Rotterdam. It's going to take months for them to get here. I need these batteries right now. You know, there's expenses happening, right? So those expenses typically should not have to come out of my pocket personally. Those expenses should come out of an LLC specifically set up for that particular property, okay? Because that property has to create an income so it's self-supporting and self-sustains, which means if there's power being generated and it's going back into the line, I'm getting a check, that check's being used to pay the taxes and the insurance on the property. Now that property is a true asset, okay? If a tree falls down and there's some damage to another structure that's on the property and that's got to get handled, and we want to decide if it's worth paying a deductible for the insurance to pay for it, hey, wait a minute, we have an LLC that we're currently investing through that has 50 grand in it or 100 G's just sitting in it, that's money earmarked for repairs and maintenance around this particular property or another property that we might own, okay? That's separate from income that's being generated from book sales or speaking or, you know, management fees or whatever, okay? Same thing with the auto. When the car breaks down, it ain't no $50 to fix it. It's freaking $5,000. It's a fucking Range Rover, right? So you gotta be prepared to handle that. And if you got multiple vehicles, you know you gotta send one car in and it needs a part, and that part gotta come in from overseas and all this stuff. You gotta be able to handle that. So you need to have an account with another 50 grand just sitting in it. How the hell are you doing all of this, right? You can invest. You see these accounts. I mean, somebody's like, well, why you got all these trucks? I got these trucks because I spent $1 in DeKalb County on a tax lien and sold it for like $90,000 and then went to the auction and bought 5 trucks. That's what happened. So now I got to maintain that. So, you know, if you got a separate LLC to take care of your vehicles, separate LLC to take care of maintenance, listen to me class, maintenance around the house. Now you got your retirement, your solo 401ks, your IRAs, blah, 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 your Roth IRAs. You got insurance, proper insurance, so ain't nobody asking for a GoFundMe. And you got the health savings account, and you got the educational savings account. Once you seed all of these accounts are separate from your earned income. They're separate. Now you can run. I'm talking to brothers and maybe sisters out here. I'm talking to people that are managing families, okay? I'm not talking to regular cats that's running around and, you know, you at this house tonight and you at another house tonight. I'm talking about people that got real responsibility, okay? This is what I've had to do to be able to cover stuff, because if my daughter's truck breaks or does something crazy, she ain't going to go get that fixed. She's going to be like, Dad, I need, David Jr. called, I need tires. Tires $500 each for that truck. All right, man, take it to the shop. Boom, we'll handle it. That money came out of here, it didn't come out of my pocket. It came out of here. Because we already expecting for something to go down. So I say all this to say, we got to design our situations so we can manage whatever it is that we need to manage. And if we're funding these accounts, if you put $5,000 in here and you go do a deal for 50 G's, that 50 G's sits in there. You got another 50 G's here, another 50 G's that you put in here, another like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, $300,000 every year coming into these accounts for you to manage whatever the hell you want to manage. It don't have to be on this level. You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be money that's coming out of your earned income. Earned income should be used to put into this and this. But guess what? If you are able to see all these accounts and these accounts are investing, now you got money just stacking up because you can save your earned income. Or you can decide if you want to work or not. So what I'm getting to, class, is that these are just, some strategies that you can utilize. It's all about having a strategy. I don't know what y'all set up to do for 2021, but we want to have a strategy. Before we get out of here, Jefferson asked about this vacation thing. Let's talk about that right quick because that's real important. The holidays is come and gone and people couldn't travel. And I have a lot of black nomads and black flight attendant networks and a lot of people that, that move around that I'm party to that I can't join right now because it's COVID. So one of the big things that's important to me is traveling. Traveling is very important to me. All right. And so really one of those actually companies really needs to be for travel, but I'll probably use it for the auto. But travel can be done through tax liens. And I'll just give you all a tip real quick, because I know Jefferson was like, yo, what can we do? So get this. The timeshare, I don't recommend timeshares, but when I do the super tax lien revision, actually super tax liens will be the first time that this came up, but when we do the revision for it, there's a strategy in there that we call vacation strategy. So when we put the no mortgage strategy out in 2007 and we revised it in 2009, there were no more revisions from 2009 current. So this is a revised addition to the no mortgage strategy. But in that addition, we had something called the super tax lien strategy that we removed from the no mortgage strategy that we're putting in the super tax lien strategy. And I'm kind of glad we gave it, 10 years to marinate so I could really get the strategy down because I'm actually using it right now. So timeshares, I don't necessarily recommend. But because of COVID, timeshares have now been reduced to $500 for a plug-in fee. $500, and I'm talking gold season in the Marriott on the exchange. So if some of y'all that understand the timeshare game, like a gold season through the front door on Marriott that you could put on the exchange, I'm talking, when I say the exchange, I mean the interval exchange. That is like 100 G's. People be going to these meetings, taking out mortgages to pay for a piece of time that they can only use 1 week out of a year. And if it's COVID, they can't use it at all. All right? They're selling these on the market, on the resale market, for $500. Right now. Like, I got contracts on like 4 of them. All right? So what I'm saying is there's ways to just revamp what travel looks like right now. You know what I mean? Because if you own 4 weeks in perpetuity, you basically guarantee, in the gold season, you basically guarantee yourself, a vacation every year for the rest of your life. You can actually hand this down as long as your kids are paying the plug-in fees. So when we're talking about housing, right? You want to take the kids on vacation. Well, now you can take your kids, or if you get 8 of them, you can do this twice a year. You can do Ian Trebeck twice a year, right? We're taking the whole family for 4 weeks to Africa, and then we're gonna take the whole family, or you could have an individual vacation for 2 weeks. You can give your clients individual vacations for a week. You can just do things. People get on your nerves. You know what? Maybe you need a break. Here's a week, you could go anywhere you want. Here's 2 weeks. Take the sat phone. Call us when you get there. Let us know you're okay. Like, that's powerful, man. To be able to sense anybody, because this stuff can be reversed. You can put it in people's names. You can send people away to whatever the hell they want to go. Forever. Like, that's cold-blooded, right? But if we're not thinking like that because we're believing everything that we're being told, then we got problems. All right, last strategy for the night before we get out of here because it's getting late. Any other questions? Hey, Doc, will the $6,000 Roth be used collectively or individually? Keyword quintessential IRA, individual retirement account. So I'm not of the notion that we should lump our funds together and practice collective economics. I'm not of that notion. Everyone that I know that has done that has had problems. Right down to Dr. and I love him. I love Claude Anderson like I love my own father. But collective economics, even when he tried to do it, did not work. All right? And I say that in love. So I'm of the notion that these transactions should be structured with only 2 people in place. The IRS recommends that there's a third-party manager because there's no fiduciary in these kinds of transactions, and the funding partner. There's a managing partner and a funding partner. That's how the LLC is structured. Managing partner, funding partner. And the LLC goes and buys the asset. And that's it. We don't put everybody's money in one pot. It don't work like that. You got an IRA. You put your $6,000 in your IRA. We got a third-party management company that we're managing, the real estate group partners, and we come together, form an LLC, and the LLC goes and buys that house, and that house is owned by your IRA. That's the deal here. There's no smoke and mirrors there. Okay? So, that's what we got going on. You're welcome, Quintessential. All right. Last strategy for the advanced tax strategies for the night. The solo 401k. I'm getting a lot of phone calls about this product. Doc, I heard you talking about the solo 401k. Can you explain to me how that worked, Doc? How did the solo K? That's how y'all want to, black folks be shortening things up, giving it a street name. The solo K, Doc. Please don't forget about the vacation opportunity. I just talked about it, homie. Was you not listening? Is the office open tomorrow? I want to set up time to go more in depth in the timeshares. Oh, Walls, you can call me about that. Timeshares is cold-blooded. We can talk after the show about that. All right. Oh, actually, before I do that. And Brian Jefferson, if you're really, really, really interested in the vacation home strategy, when we drop the no mortgage strategy, we'll talk about it. But when we drop that super tax lien strategy, there's a whole entire chapter in it. So I'd like just, that's going to be a game changer in itself. So solo 401ks, let's talk about this from an advanced tax strategy standpoint. So from a tax mitigation standpoint, this is probably the Quan. A lot of married couples, sometimes we get jammed up with tax obligations. They start businesses, they start doing well, filing married, filing joint, or married, filing separate, which is really not a good situation to be filing in. But if you are married, joint, filing joint, and you have like a $300,000 obligation or a $150,000 obligation, this is definitely something that you need to pay attention to. Anything $150,000 and under can be handled by just adding this solo 401k to the husband and wife, because I'll put it on the board. Here's the husband. He can put 37.5 in here. And then the Roth side, we can put 19.5. All right? All right? So that's $57,000 in there, if I'm correct. 9, 7, 57,000. Okay? If they're married, this doubles. Because it's the same on here to the wife. Another 37.5. Yo, Miss Jennings. Hey, is that girl gonna get that money or what?
No,
She don't want it?
no.
Come on, man.
The,
She's not picking it up?
the brother is trying to make a decision.
So when are they gonna make a decision?
I have to wait for her to respond.
All right, we'll deal with it in the morning. So was there a time?
There was, and now there is not.
That's not good.
Not good.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll have to take that back. Put it back. It don't sound like it's gonna be picked up tonight. All right. So we got
People alive.
keep over line. I saw John Ayub today. He said the bank called on your property.
Oh, it's nice to know at 11 at night.
I'm sorry. I'm just doing Wealth Wednesday. Still doing business, man. It's crazy. All right. So, if you have an obligation and you're married, doing this right here, in addition to the ESAs and the HSAs and the Roths, you can put, instead of giving this money to the Fed, right? You can put this money in your wife's retirement account, and you can put this money in your retirement account, and you can have your CPA amend your returns for the past 3 years and figure your situation out. Now, this strategy is not in lieu of paying your taxes, so we're not trying to show you how to not pay your fair share. However, the government does want you to build your own retirement because Americans ain't prepared for retirement, and they know that. So they want you to put some money up. So for those people that are really dealing with major issues, major tax problems, this is the Quan. Because you can dump, $100,000+ just in this one vehicle. And that's not adding the other $7,000 in the HSA and $6,000 or $12,000 on both the Roth IRAs, and then another, $2,000 for each child. It's unprecedented. This is really something that you want to really, really, really take a really strong look at. So this is my still on advanced tax strategies. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, you can call us 888-755-5105, and we can talk more about, these strategies.
In a few years,
And
Amazon
hopefully
may no longer
that these strategies are helpful to you, man. These strategies are not just, ideograms that we put on a whiteboard every Wednesday, because a lot of people are unclear about them. So we're trying to get into them to try to explain them more. These ideograms are literally what we need to be successful and build wealth. All right. I just shared with y'all that we turned $75,000 into potentially $500,000, and we're like in 6 months in right now. Okay, we're 6 months in and we've already doubled the 75. So if we could double the 150 now, we at 350, and hopefully we can turn it one more time. So I'll say that to say we couldn't do that without a strategy. And these are the strategies. So you need some help figuring it out. 888-755-5105. Rest in peace to Shabba-Doo. Wiggy, 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 wiggy. Yeah, I gotta work on it. I get it. Fat shouts to Grandmaster D. I know y'all got that GoFundMe going. But for those of y'all that are uninsured, get insured. Swell Wednesdays, we'll see y'all next week. Next year, actually. 2021 is gonna be crazy. We already ready for it. Just keep your health up, keep your immune system up, get that Pycnogenol, get that vitamin D3, get that zinc, get that 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C into your stomach. Get rid of all the disease that's sitting in your gut. Do the colonic, do the foot detox. Whatever you gotta do, drink the alkaline water. 2021, people. Well, Wednesday.
Jam on is the funky beat that takes control. The short shot, baby, that'll rock your soul.